good pop.
That was good pop. That was good pop.
See how I can get
what are you going? Let's go. Oh, I was getting like delayed that one. That was nice. A couple little stutters in there. Welcome to We Need Wrestling. Ooh. I'm DJ. That's Brett.
I'm oohing over here.
You are. That's some ASMR. Would you get find another flavor you've never had?
Yeah.
Wow.
You want to try? Have you had this?
What is it?
C4 Jolly Rancher watermelon?
No, I don't. I only drink C4s when you bring them over.
Oh, really?
I never think to grab them. I always forget they're good.
They're quite delicious. Yeah. Better than Ghosts. This one.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I'm done with. I don't think I can do Ghosts anymore.
No, we talked about that.
Yeah,
we're done.
Too much. We're done.
See ya.
Yeah, see you later. Too syrupy. Get the fuck out of here.
Unless you want to sponsor us, then.
Well,
the door's wide open.
Well, listen, Rain. If you want to bring back the Rain Inferno,
no,
make my day.
That shit was intense.
That shit is a guarantee you will not fall asleep.
Yeah, I mean it does the job, but
guarantee a Rain Inferno in your belly.
It'll also be up for 2 days tweaking.
Correct.
That shit was scary, dude. No thanks.
I would take them. I would drink them on the ride home from Philly, and at like 2, 3 in the morning, we'd get home, and then I'd be up till 6 or 7, going
Like that's a problem. Can't do that.
He said,
Can't do that at all.
Take and smoke weed, and it still wouldn't make me tired.
How did your brain feel?
My brain always feels fine.
That's not true.
Yeah, that's not true.
Put your brain on weed and rain.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't even imagine.
Yeah. So you got to do it sometimes. You got to.
Apparently not anymore.
You got to take downers to get rid of the uppers. You know, that's
you just took both to balance yourself out.
It's why you do cocaine all night and you drink. It's an upper and a downer. You know.
I don't know actually. That I'm not aware of.
So, welcome to We Need Wrestling.
Welcome to DJ Needs Drugs.
All right. I mean, I don't need them.
Okay, it's more of a want,
but they're nice. Hi, Mom.
Yeah, okay. Your mother listens to this.
No, my mother doesn't listen to anything I've ever done. She stopped listening.
Well, that's depressing.
5th grade saxophone lessons was the last thing she ever fucking listened to that I did.
At least you got to 5th grade.
Well, there you go. Bringing it down.
All right, now we have to do an upper. Is this how that works?
Now you have to do uppers.
All right, let's uppity up.
Welcome to Wrestling DJ. That Brett already said that.
Hello.
How are you, pal?
I'm good, man. You know, what have I done? What have I done?
Fuck, we got to review Queen of the Ring on this show. We didn't talk about that.
Shit. I'm glad you said that because I didn't.
Yeah, we got to put it in here somewhere.
Well, we saw Queen of the Ring.
We're going to talk about it right now.
What else did I do? Once saw Cavalera on Saturday.
Yeah, you did.
For those of you who don't know, Cavalera just it's Max and Igor playing old Sepultura songs.
Yeah,
and it was fucking sick. And then we went to Dave and Buster's afterwards.
Oh yeah,
we watched the UFC fights.
Nice,
until real late. Because the time change, I didn't get home till 3:15 in the morning.
Oh boy,
yeah. Time change kicked my ass this week.
Yeah, mine too.
Other than that, yeah.
The next day was the pay-per-view for you too.
Yeah, and so that was another late night. Like there I am laying in bed at like 1:30 in the morning, and I'm wide awake. What else happened? What else did we do? Tuesday we went and saw Queen of the Ring. You want to talk about it
right now?
No. How are you? How are you?
I'm good.
All right. Now do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Okay.
It's Queen of the Ring. It was all right.
Decent movie.
Yeah, decent. Written at times. The first half of the movie, we talked about this in the ride home, but like the first half of the movie was like over-explainy and into insider. And I know you're doing like. This is a heel. This is a baby face. There's a fine balance when we're finding when people make wrestling movies, and even good filmmakers have a hard time with it. So Ash Avildsen really struggles. He also plays himself as Vince McMahon Sr. Spoilers,
very weird,
and makes a joke about Junior in it. Very
the timelines don't match up.
It kind of does, but very odd. And you're gonna see Jim Clarinet in it, which mileage may vary. But like the lead actress lady is very good.
Yeah,
who plays Mildred
Felicity
Burke.
Smoke.
She's very good. The performances are fine. I think Toni Storm, out of all like the actual wrestler cameos, she did the best.
I agree. You wouldn't know Naomi's in the movie,
right?
Because WWE doesn't advertise it.
I even said that like out loud during a movie. Yeah. I was like, oh shit. Camille can't act either.
Nope.
And they give her a lot to carry. I thought she was picked because of the size difference, because
Makes sense.
she's supposed to be like that much bigger than Mildred. But the story is what it is. They take some liberties in one direction and not enough in the other.
Sure.
You know, they don't quite, to me, frame out how bad Billy Wolf was.
Yeah.
So if you Google it, you'll find all the other shit that he's done. And that apparently Mae Young in real life kicked his ass.
That kind of rocks.
But yeah, so like they kind of, and like, you know, again, it's wrestling, so, you know, they
play a little fast and loose.
You half kayfabe, but you half don't, and then you
Sure.
you say kayfabe and explain what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But like, and I know, like, I think they expected more non-wrestling fans to go see this movie, which just isn't going to happen. But like, in the beginning of the movie, it is, like you said, heels faces thing. Like, she goes to a wrestling match and she's like, oh my God, I'm so excited. And then the guy in front of her says, like, heel and baby face. And she's like, well, what does that mean? And like, the dude like looks at the camera and he's like, well, a baby face. And it's like,
might as well just put the definition right up on the screen.
It might have been like a fucking PowerPoint presentation. Yeah. And they do that a bunch in the beginning to explain the business. And like, I was
what's
like,
working to shoot?
Yeah,
you know?
right. Working to shoot, all that. You know, touring the loop, all that shit. And they get away from that as the movie goes on, like that, but they really hit you up front. It feels like it was, not only is it like really exposing and whatever, but it also seems like it's written by really, really simply by someone like when people define things, it's very straight, very focused, and very simple. And it's like this, you just literally wrote definitions from like a dictionary into the movie and didn't add any style or character to them.
I agree.
Like they did everything but like pronounce them phonetically. Like it's very odd. But the lady who plays Mildred Burke is great. You know, it was good to see Toni Storm. The wrestling stuff was fun. You know, a lot of it they stayed true, and they just like downplayed some of the horrible stuff. Like, and it's like that's such a weird thing. Like normally people like exaggerate some bigger parts or whatever. And, like, they just sort of made Billy Wolf, like, a womanizer who, like, got violent
towards Mildred Burke.
Right. But then, like, immediately apologized and showed real remorse. Like, in the movie, like, showed remorse. And, you know, is he playing her or isn't he? But then, like, in real life, like, he just religiously beat every woman he was ever with. So, like, I don't know why they, like, kind of pulled that lower a little bit.
Do you think it's for the same reason why they didn't include the other dead brother in the Von Erich movie?
Just too sad.
Yeah,
that could be.
The material they don't want. They didn't want it to be like,
I guess, be about the abuse. Like heavy. You get the idea he sucked. Maybe that's enough. Yeah. Well, and they also, spoilers, but like they also do they make up a death in the movie.
They sure did. Yep.
But it's based on, and when I didn't know this, I found this out afterwards. But the death that happens in the ring is actually Mildred Burke and Billy Wolf had a foster daughter that they pushed too hard into wrestling, and she died in the ring in the same way they show a different character die. And it's just like,
play a little fast and loose. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, but it was still all right. You know, watch it for free.
Yeah, wait till streaming.
You know, it's nowhere near as good as Iron Claw.
Nope, not even close.
Jury's out on if it's better than Chris Jericho's wrestling horror movie that's out.
We still have to watch that.
We do still have to watch that. There's a couple wrestling horror movies
Dark
we still have to
Match.
watch. But yeah, it's, you know, I had a fine enough time with it. But like they couldn't decide how they wanted to portray the business, and I know that that's hard.
Yeah.
Because like if everything's a shoot, then it really does an injustice to the business. But if everything's a work, then there's no legitimate stakes in the movie. So why would I give a shit?
Well, then you don't want to work yourself into a shoe,
right? HH. So
jabroni mark.
But yeah, you know, it's. I'm glad we saw it.
I am too.
I like going to the movie theater.
Me too, yeah.
But if you didn't see it yet, unless you can get that sweet buy one get two ticket deal you were telling me about, you can just wait for streaming, so you don't have to pay anything more than a monthly subscription for it.
Yeah, I agree, 100%.
But yeah, who else? Toni Storm.
Naomi.
Naomi
Mickey
James. But like, and online will tell you that Mickey James is playing the fabulous Moolah.
She's in it for 4 seconds?
She is in a training scene in the gym.
Yeah.
And she is like everyone was like on the call sheet, she was just listed as an extra. They just gave a bunch of extras names to like pop people. So there's no Moolah.
No.
There's a ton of Mae Young.
Yep.
And like they hinted like where Mae Young goes after she leaves.
Sure.
The purview of Billy Wolf, but there's no Moolah shit. Even if you see Mickie James playing there.
No.
Yeah.
It was
fine.
It's fine. It was just fine.
Yeah, middle of the road.
Yeah.
No real style. Like it's not like the movie doesn't look particularly good or particularly bad.
No, it just looks like a movie.
And the wrestling's filmed pretty well, though. Actually,
wrestling was done pretty well. I agree with that.
Yeah, so
it didn't look terrible.
Yeah,
so.
It's worth your time, but not that much time.
I agree. You know what else is not terrible?
What?
Lex Luger going to the Hall of Fame.
Did we not talk about that last week?
No, because I don't think it got announced till Friday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So Lex into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Fuck yeah.
Right call.
Yeah. Lex is a complicated human being, obviously.
Sure.
You know, I feel like he doesn't run away from the stuff with Liz.
Not anymore, yeah.
You know, he owns it, which, you know, is good.
Yeah.
Hey, the guy, you know, it's sad to see him the way he is right now, but hey, if he walks across that stage in the Hall of Fame, I'll cry.
Okay, yeah. Right.
But glad to see Lex finally get in.
I did see an interview with him, and he like somebody brought up the Liz thing, and he was like, "Yeah, I was there." Like, you know, he's like, but it's, you know, the life choices we both made that led us to that situation.
And he's right. Yeah, he's
right. He didn't stuff pills down,
not at all,
down her throat. He didn't, you know, and I held that grudge too, you know, and he didn't like, you know, he didn't give her a hot shot, like, you know, like any of that, you know. It just like, you know, but he also didn't help.
No.
And he was in a really bad spot too.
He was.
And so, you know, on the stretch the history of professional wrestling across a timeline, or stretch all the professional wrestlers ever on a timeline based on innocent to horrible. And Luger's probably, in the history of every professional wrestler, probably closer to the middle than you might want to realize.
I'd say the middle.
So,
yeah, he's in the middle.
You know, but yeah, it'll mean so much to him. Hopefully Stinger gets to induct him like he wants.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Tony Khan has said like he's like, Sting do whatever he wants. Yeah. So, you know, Ric Flair also says that his good friend and boss Tony Khan lets him do whatever he wants.
Oh well, that's true.
But yeah, hopefully they let Sting put him in, because I think that's the right call.
Of course it is. It's the right move.
I think if not, they'd probably go Dally.
You gotta go Stinger.
But you gotta go Stinger. I think that's the most important guy that's there.
Yeah.
That could do it for Lex.
Yeah, it was his best friend.
Right. Yeah. So,
but good for Lex. There's so many different iterations of Lex that I love too. Like, I love like 80s NWA Horseman Lex. I love the Narcissus.
Yeah.
You know, Lex Express Lex. You know, then like NWO Wolfpack Lex.
When somebody says
the total package,
like Lex, like what image pops in your brain first? What's your Lex? What's your like? What's your imprinted Lex Luger? Not your favorite, but like when somebody says Lex Luger, what version of Lex Luger do you?
American Luger.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's when I was a kid.
I do Galoob era WCW.
Yeah.
Long hair, black tights. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know, I thought Luger should have won the title when I was a kid.
Yeah. I mean, makes sense.
Still shocked that he didn't, but good for him getting in.
He's one of the people like to like give him a lot of shit. And listen, Luger's not a 5-star man. But Luger's one of the best body guy workers. Like, he was a really good worker for being how good of a shape, like being known as just like a body guy.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yep. So good for Lex.
Yeah.
Happy he's in. Then another report came out today about somebody listed internally on WWE's roster already.
Yes.
And that being one Jeff Cobb.
Yes. And didn't he say the last time we heard him on commentary, he was like, maybe it's time to try somewhere else out?
Well, that is legit, but I guess he's wrestling Naito today on the New Japan Cup.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, who knows? I think it'd be like a weird fit.
Yeah, I don't like it at all.
Again, unless it's just like him and Jacob Fatu just hossing each other.
Right.
But,
I like Cobb a ton. But like Cobb, in WWE's eyes, and the way they'll package him, Cobb doesn't do anything better than any other guys they have.
Yeah, it's true.
And he's short.
Though we'll just wait for Bronson Reed to come back.
Right. He's, like Bronson Reed, who's also not the biggest dude, but like bigger than Cobb, works as that big guy better. Gable's a better suplexer, but not the same size. Like it's, I don't know.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting one.
But he's an Olympian. Maybe they can go that route because he was an Olympic from Fiji, so who knows?
Was it Guam?
Guam, whichever.
Guamanians.
Yeah, Guamamania running wild. But, I don't think it's a fit at all. But also,
I don't either.
I mean, outside of New Japan, I wouldn't really want to see him go anywhere else. Like, AEW is not a spot for him.
No.
Because they have other people that do what he does way better.
I agree with that.
He was a good, mid-card New Japan guy, tossing people around. Yeah. Tag team guy,
TV champ guy.
Yeah.
Never world title guy, though.
No. He doesn't have that extra level that WWE wants. He doesn't have he's a funny dude he's on commentary, but they're going to give him a dumb gimmick, that'd be.
Would they make him an Islander?
I was going to say, are they gonna try and say that he is
in the bloodline?
He's Samoan?
Stop.
He doesn't look Samoan, but he's Pacific Islander, so they're going to be like, that's enough.
For them, close enough.
Close enough.
Do you have any other news? I don't have anything else.
We talked about this last week too, but did we get an official natural disasters announcement out of the WWE?
No, so it seems to still be floating around. I think maybe Fred Ottman did an interview saying that they were getting in. Okay, but there's still no official announcement from WWE. Yeah. I'm guessing for tomorrow, Friday, they'll announce somebody.
And that'll probably be the end of the class, right? That's Uncle Fred.
Yeah, because you'd have Luger.
So the top,
Michelle McCool.
So this is the thing that bothers me about this Hall of Fame that's happening, and I don't really watch them that much anymore. But Hunter's going to headline.
Oh, that's right. Triple H is going in.
Yeah, Hunter's the headliner.
100% headliner.
He's headlining. No fucking way. There's no, I'm sorry. There's probably listeners of this show that are on their last fucking straw with us. And maybe the hill they die on that ends the listenership here. But if you think that Triple H is half the fucking professional wrestler that Lex Luger was,
yeah, stop.
Just stop. Just hit this fucking stop button.
I agree.
A bigger star like Luger should be headlining if you're putting Luger in, he should be the headliner of the Hall of Fame. Unless you put Sting in, but he's already in. But yeah, so Triple Paul.
Yep, Michelle McCool.
So there's your sub-headliner. Luger.
Oh, don't say sub-headliner. If you're putting the natural disasters
I think
that's it so far.
Who's celebrity? What's the celebrity wing getting? No. It's going to be... maybe that's why they've had Andrew Schultz on. Maybe he's going to go in the fucking celebrity room.
Cool.
What if they put... Pod Meets World's going to WrestleMania. What if they put Topanga in? Legitimize that Hall of Fame right away.
I'm alright with that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What if they put Topanga in, and while she's giving her speech in the ring, Maitland Ward comes from behind and tries to tackle her, and then Cash Wheeler has to punch her in the face?
I'm also alright with that. You leave my poor sweet Topanga alone.
Remember when that dude tackled Bret Hart, and we all freaked out?
Yeah, I was at the fucking New Japan show in Madison Square Garden. Because at the time it was happening, all the lame-ass Enzo Amore shit was going on. Then somebody just goes, oh, fuck, Bret Hart just got tackled at the Hall of Fame. And our whole section's like, wait, what? Really? Everybody's busting out their phones trying to find out what was going on. And so they found the video of Cash just punching that dude. Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him.
That was a Chocolate Bunny Getter backer. But all right, I've Googled pro wrestling news.
What do you got?
The top 10 richest wrestlers of all time from Sports Illustrated.
What the fuck?
I can't imagine. The pictures of the final boss, The Rock. Number 10, Chris Jericho. $18 million.
So what's this based off?
Net worth.
Okay.
It's claiming Chris Jericho has a net worth of $18 million.
I mean, that's probably true.
Do you know how net worth works? It's how much money you can make in a year. It's kind of...
Yeah, plus taking it off your gross income.
Yeah, whatever. The Bella Twins at $20 million. That's two wrestlers, though, so that doesn't count.
Okay, yeah.
They're each half of Jericho. You can't put both of them on the list. Number 8, Stacy Keibler, $25 million.
Really?
Mm-hmm. She's apparently the editor of Stuff Magazine.
Huh.
Yeah. And she's married to a CEO exec, so...
Well...
Right. Hulk Hogan, number 7, $25 million.
That probably burns a hole in him.
Yeah, he's definitely... It says he's now listed at that, but there's no way. Stone Cold Steve Austin, $30 million. Which is crazy because he's made a lot of fucking movies.
Yeah.
All right, big jump to number 5. John Cena, worth $80 million. Old Big John. Number 4, Triple H at $250 million.
Well, we got that executive contract.
Triple H at $250 million. That how failing upwards, man.
That's the way it works.
It's unbelievable. I was just gonna make a terrible.
If
only Macho Man was alive, he could have been the richest guy to fuck Stephanie McMahon.
Oh boy.
Number 3.
Oh boy.
At $250 million, Stephanie McMahon.
Oh boy! Wow. Oh boy.
At number 2, The Rock, claiming he's worth $800 million. If we live,
I sadly believe.
If The Rock becomes a billionaire, like, all right, come on, people, what are we doing here?
Who the fuck is number 1?
You know who number 1? Fuck you, Sports Illustrated. This says wrestlers of all time.
Is it Vince?
It's Vince.
Oh yeah, all right.
Fuck
yeah,
you.
that list sucks then.
That fucking sucks. Get the fuck out of
Yeah,
here.
nope. Dumb. We're done.
Yeah, we're done here. Fuck you, Sports Illustrated.
Yeah.
It says wrestlers, and even if it said like people involved in wrestling, leave him off the fucking list because he's not anymore.
Yeah.
Jake Roberts said pro wrestling's a foolish business to get into. Yeah.
All right, Jake.
WWE interested in top New Japan star. I guess there's probably going to be talking about Jeff Cobb.
Sure.
Top is a stretch.
I say, boy, we're really throwing that word around.
Yeah, that's a bit of a stretch, but that's all right. I don't care what JD McDonough did. Oh, good. Bully Ray fucking worked. That actress apologized.
No. The less said, the better.
Yeah.
That guy sucks so bad.
She was on Busted Open, and she apologized.
He was okay. So I listened to the whole thing. Like he was the one who was actually like kind of sticking up for her. So I won't give him shit.
So LaGreca, piece
of
shit.
That idiot and Mark Henry
worst.
went way too hard on this woman.
So and she explained herself, which if you listen to her during the pre-show, it's what she fucking said. But yeah, they made her fucking apologize.
They literally talked about it for over 40 minutes on their fucking AEW review show. I said, well, all right, I'd turn that off. No thanks. We're good.
Yeah.
What else? Anything
I don't
else?
know. Hold on. Oh, I guess so. Paul Walter Hauser and QT Marshall were involved in an altercation.
Oh, that was on the pre-show.
Yeah, Marshall threw a drink at Hauser. Well, I guess Paul Walter Hauser is pushing it. They're building for a match. But he says, I thought it was water, but it was Crown Royal. I got a little pissed off because that's a trigger.
Oh, okay.
And then he apparently says he sent a DM to QT Marshall that said, I'm going to kick your ass. You think you're funny. Trust me, that stunt wasn't funny. It doesn't matter if you're a wrestler and I'm an actor. I'll still kick your ass.
Oh, God.
So there you go. So we're really working a Paul Walter Hauser angle.
QT Marshall, he's just the guy that works with people that are in mainstream. I can't even say mainstream media.
QT Marshall sucks. The hard one. That's what I'm going to say.
Come on, man. He brings the doom.
And Maple Leaf Pro looks like dog shit.
It sure does.
Let's see. Dark Side of the Ring. We got full episode guide and descriptions. Do we know all the episodes?
Yeah, we went over them. When does it say they have a start date?
No.
Oh, okay.
Let me see.
Well,
I can click. Let me click. I can click.
My DVR is set for them already.
Yeah,
so.
I don't get that channel anymore, so I'll have to find them somewhere else. But March 25th.
Oh, okay. So a couple weeks.
Yeah.
All right.
So I don't know if this is the order, but I think it is. Foley, Hell in a Cell, The Original Sheik, Tony Atlas, Muhammad Hassan, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, Big Van Vader, Daphne, Superstar Billy Graham, Ludwig Borga, and Truth Lies and Billy Jack Haynes.
That'll be a fucking fire one.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Well, and recent. That's going to be.
Oh yeah, very recent.
So, is that it though? I think that's it because we're going into the second page and nobody wants to go into the second page.
We're first page podcast.
We are a first page podcast. We're 5-star men.
Always. All right, let's get into fucking shit that we watched this week.
All right, no questions up front. We're all good. They're all positioned.
Nope,
all
we're
right.
good.
Okay, where are we at? Who are we talking about? Let's go.
I watched some Double E.
Okay.
Friday night, I was out with the nephews watching SmackDown.
Yes.
Naomi was revealed as the one who attacked Jade Cargill. It's official.
Okay.
She made Bianca cry. That made me cry.
Oh, well, that's rude.
And then Bianca was leaving, and she's like, "Leave like you always do, you ungrateful bitch." And then Jade came, her car pulled up, and she came walking out.
Was this the white outfit you sent me?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Looking like $1 million.
Always.
And continued the Elimination Chamber and just beat the shit out of Naomi. I'm all for it, man.
Yeah.
Let her just do that.
Right, like that's
just beat people up.
That was when she was at her best in AEW, where they were just letting her loose on people. When you ask her to wrestle, she can't put it together.
Yeah.
She doesn't know how to walk. Like she's like a fucking baby deer on ice when she tries to wrestle.
She looked awesome.
Yeah,
looked like a fucking star.
Good.
But so I guess they're gonna build a Naomi versus Jade
1-on-1.
Yeah, that doesn't sound promising.
That can't be. That's oof. That's.
I don't think it's a Mania match, but you also got to fill 2 nights, I guess. So
yeah, that'd be rough though.
And it's the first time we were gonna get heel Naomi, I believe. So see how that goes.
Yeah.
The only other thing I have, LA Knight.
Oh wow. When WWE happens on that Friday, it's
hard.
Ago.
Yeah. LA Knight, new United States champion.
Yes.
Beating Shinsuke Nakamura. Which then there was a report over the weekend, who knows if it's true or not, that WWE is not going to renew Shinsuke's contract. They're going to let him go.
I saw a report that WWE came out and said that that's bullshit.
Okay.
But I don't know.
This sparked fun conversation anyway in your house on Sunday.
Yes.
Of Shinsuke, because they said they were going to do this for Mania, but they felt there was very little interest in this program.
Yeah,
which I kind of agree.
Right. There's also little interest in the undercard of Mania. So.
Well, and that's true. Yeah. So Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yes.
We all kind of talked, and we're like, okay, what would you do with him if he leaves? Like, what's your ideal landing spot for him?
Yeah.
You and Tim from Final Wrestling Place said AEW.
Right, that's the mega powers of the soon-to-be-named network. We don't agree often, but when we do.
Sure.
Yeah.
Joe and I said no fucking way.
Yeah.
And we both kind of said, go work Noah.
Yeah.
Not even New Japan. Like, you can go to Noah at this point. So, because I really like the conversation that we did have about it. I think I still am in that stance because I just don't see him fitting anywhere.
Yeah.
Especially after watching this AEW pay-per-view. I don't see him
so that's a really good
fitting
point.
Anywhere.
Listen,
because we talked before the pay-per-view.
He's an old man.
He's old.
But I still think that there's enough weight in the marquee.
That too.
Thank you. I still think there's enough weight in the marquee to do short tour of retirement.
Okay.
I'm gonna sneeze again. I was gonna edit the first one out, but now I can't.
No, that's a bit now.
So I think that enough people would be interested in Nakamura Okada or a Nakamura Shibata to have it happen. But the risk you run is that you do the first one and it doesn't go well because it's like you know what I mean? Then you're done. Then you can't keep pressing forward. But I think there's enough, and I'm not saying Nakamura, like, I agree with you, he is beat down and basically washed. But I think you can fool enough people for a very short amount of time that he's not.
Now, I know you say those matchups. Do you think in the year 2025 it's marketable in the United States? Or would you have to relegate that to a Forbidden Door show?
Well, so...
Because do you want to run that, like, Forbidden Door, because that's over in the UK this year?
Yeah.
Or do you want to run that in, like, Biloxi, Mississippi?
So, it's it's not a main event, right? Like you're not. He's not going to main event a pay-per-view. He shouldn't be anything meaningful. But yeah, I think AEW has run similar things. And like, this is a company that after like this pay-per-view thinks we want a second Moxley Edge fight.
Oh, God.
So yes, on that regard, yes, I think you could advertise either most likely on a special edition TV show that you're doing a match of a, whatever, and have you know what I mean? Have Nakamura.
What market would you run it in?
Fuck, I don't know. You'd have, I guess you could run that in LA, because he's out
have
there.
To go big city.
Yeah, I think you could run. I think you could run it.
You can't
East Coast. I think you can run it Philly or New York.
Yeah, like you can't run that in like Baton Rouge.
No. I'm not even sure you'd run that in Chicago. But I think either West Coast or East Coast is enough.
Okay.
Has enough
juice left
enough
in that?
exposure.
Okay.
But I think there's enough juice. I think people will be interested in one. So pick the one you want it to be.
It'd have to be Nakamura Okada.
Right. You pick Nakamura Okada, and then if that surprises people,
then you can
then you try another one, right?
Okay.
But like, because shit, Naito had us all fooled in that G1. At the end of that G1, we were like, holy shit, what's going on? And then he won the fucking belt.
Look who the dance partners were, though.
Right. No, I know. But you can, like what I'm saying, you could do that. You can get that out of a knock, maybe.
You think?
With the right dance partner, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Okay.
You
think 2025 Okada is the right dance partner?
I think he could be.
Okay.
Yeah, I think.
You think you can turn it on?
Yeah, I think what Okada's doing is willful. I think Okada likes having wrestling lighter and doing a less lighter TV thing.
I don't.
I do. I think he's enjoying himself and doesn't want to have to go that hard.
I'm not enjoying.
I'm also not as hard on Okada. I think Okada can do whatever he wants. I think Okada's
goddamn Rainmaker.
Okada's given enough to this business. I'm fine with it. But
give me more.
But ultimately, and that's the thing too, you could also have him in New Japan, and it would be a very similar setup. But you couldn't do either. Like if you're gonna burn him out in one of the others with very similar matchups, and then Noah is kind of where he settles because that's what Noah wants, right? Noah will be happy. Like they had. They've welcomed Kenta back with open arms. Like that's going to matter anything.
Been back twice over there, so
like
a fit in.
There's wrestling promotions all over the world that think Ibushi's going to come back to what he was. So Tony Khan's fucking one of them. So
my poor baby Ibushi. But all right, that was the end of SmackDown.
Okay.
I watched one thing from Monday Night Raw.
All right.
Because obviously we're out of order here, but after watching that,
you're out of order.
After watching that pay per view on Sunday, I was real fired up about wrestling.
I'm gonna bounce all over the place. Yeah.
Monday Night Raw. I watched one thing. Seth Rollins versus CM Punk in a steel cage match.
I heard this was the way you do a cage match.
Stop it, you. So this was Madison Square Garden. Mm-hmm. The Mecca.
Right.
I'll tell you what, man. So there's a cage match that happened from the night before that I think might have kicked these two in the ass a little bit.
Okay.
I thought I enjoyed it. Overall, I enjoyed it.
You think they went a little harder because of what happened the night before?
I think so. Okay. A cage match with no blood still pisses me off.
Yeah, that's stupid.
I hate it.
Yeah.
Like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
Fucking take the fine. Take the fine.
Do you think CM Punk's the kind of guy that, like, he just forgets his boots in the locker room at Madison Square Garden, hoping that somebody grabs them and puts them in a glass case next to Piper's?
I don't know. He wears wrestling shoes, not boots.
Oh, okay. Does he? He's always worn shoes.
I think so. He's not a boot guy. But like I did like the match overall.
Yeah.
There were some good like falsies on escaping the cage.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it. Was a kind of a weird haven't really seen this in a cage match, not that I can recall anyway.
Yeah.
But both of them were challenging each other to leave the cage.
Okay.
Rollins was like, "Go ahead, walk out, leave like you always do."
Like before they started fighting?
No, like in the middle of fighting. Like he had him beaten down.
Yeah.
And then Punk had Rollins beaten down, and then he would yell to goad him back in, just go ahead, walk out, leave like you always do, quit again.
Yeah.
And then Punk would rebuttal back and just be he'd beat him down, and like Punk would beat him down, and Rollins would be like crawling towards the thing. He goes, "Yeah, you've had enough." He's like, "Go ahead, yeah, you leave. Go ahead, you're a bitch."
Okay.
A lot of flipping each other off, a lot of calling each other asshole.
Oh no,
it was fun. It became
it's like they're madmen.
Yeah. Stop it. It became too much of like a spamming of finishers, though.
Okay.
Like hitting their own finisher, hitting each other's finishers, and I was just like,
how's Punk's curb stomp look?
Not bad.
No,
not bad. And I hated the finish.
Yeah.
So Rollins gives Punk the stomp off the second rope.
Okay.
And he hits the stomp and he kind of falls down and he's by the cage door. And you hear the crowd start going just like ape shit.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, Roman's here somewhere. Yeah. And the camera pans and Roman just puts Rollins in a chokehold and drags him out of the cage. And then just beats the shit out of him on the floor. He speared him twice. I think he Superman punched him. I think he even curb stomped him once. And then he has Rollins set up on the steel steps to curb stomp him onto the steps. Yeah. And he gets, security and all that. And then he looks in the ring, and Heyman's in the ring, like, consoling Punk.
Oh.
So then Roman gets pissed off.
Okay.
Gets back in the ring.
Heyman's still with Roman, though.
Yeah.
But they've been teasing the Punk thing, yeah. Okay.
So Roman gets back in the ring and just kind of looks at Heyman and goes, "What the fuck are you doing?" And then just hits Punk with a spear. So that's setting up the Matt Mania match. Okay. But I was like, you know what? I thought it was pretty good. I'm not gonna that's how you do it or anything, but it was a good WWE cage match.
Is Roman babyface in that scenario?
Oh yeah.
Okay, because I was gonna say because Rollins is a heel.
I don't think you can boo Roman for anything right now. Dude, you should have heard. Oh my god.
So they're gonna. So that means they might put Heyman with Punk again and turn Punk.
Maybe
Punk's better as a heel.
Punk's better as a heel.
Because he's insufferable, so it works. I'm just saying, you got a wrestling character. You turn yourself up. You turn yourself up a little bit, and that's what he does.
Stop it. Are you in a certain Discord fucking channel? Is that what you're doing?
No, I have that one blocked. It's actually the only channel I have blocked in the Discord. The only one I have muted is that one.
But no, I don't know what they're gonna do. It's kind of interesting.
Okay.
Like some people say, Heyman says "fuck you both," and he ends up going with Rollins.
Oh.
Which would be kind of not great. I don't love that.
No.
Punk has this favor or whatever that Heyman owes him. So who knows what that is?
So yeah.
And then Roman is just Roman. Roman's God. Roman's great. I love Roman. But yeah, it was like a cool ending though to Raw. I thought that's the only thing I got from the show.
Okay.
Oh, other than smacking the shit
out
of Rhea and Bianca because they kept disrespecting her.
Okay. What did Chad Gable? That was the.
Oh yeah, so he was on his vision quest or whatever to be a luchador to find the dark arts of lucha libre because he kept getting beaten by luchadors. And a guy shows up in the middle of a match. I think it was a Rey Mysterio match, wearing like an American flag mask,
looked a little bit like Skyda's mask. A little
bit. And he ran in and stuff. And then backstage later in the show,
or the original American Dragon mask.
Kathy Kelly's like, "Why are you doing this? Like stop pretending it wasn't you. Blah blah blah." And they show in the background a guy getting let out wearing the mask.
Oh, so he's doing a Mr. America thing.
But there's another guy getting let out in the mask. So this is it wasn't me. So yeah, cool.
It was Gad Chable.
Cool. I watched one more WWE related thing.
What?
Sure did.
What did you watch? Evolve?
No. Stop. I have some self-respect.
LFG. You watched LFG?
I'd rather. Never mind. I watched the main event from NXT's Roadblock.
Oh, Roadblock was there, I heard.
I wish.
Yeah.
So this was at the theater.
I can't wait for NXT presents Man Mountain Rock. That's going to be my favorite.
Let's go.
NXT pay-per-view.
So this was for the North American Women's Championship and the NXT Women's
Championship.
This
happened. Yeah.
So of course I had fucking watched Steph Kerr versus Julia.
Right.
Steph Kerr gets the dub. Mm-hmm. She's officially the new NXT.
I saw Julia catch her in the triangle, which was cool.
That's what I have in my notes. So Steph went for that spiral tap.
Yeah.
And Julia caught her in the triangle. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Crowd was going crazy when that happened. But Steph does get the win.
So Julia is banged up, huh?
That's the talk, is that Julia's banged up, because why wouldn't you save this for like Mania weekend, which is in like a couple weeks?
Yeah.
But now Steph has both belts.
Did she throw the North American title down?
She should have.
Because that's what Ozawa did in Noah. Did you see that?
I did see that.
He won the main title. He's like, well, I don't need this one anymore.
I mean, that's the truth.
So.
But yeah, Steph Kerr
Okay.
is officially your NXT Women's Champion. There's a picture I had on my phone.
Double gold is so hard.
I don't know where it went. Yeah, double gold.
Because you can't lose the undercard. If you lose the undercard title, like the lesser title, then you shouldn't be the main title one either. Like if you're
double gold in.
She has to lose the main title and then tuck tail.
Yeah, double gold is real tough.
Double gold rules. We learned that.
Yeah,
that was a little different.
Yeah, double gold is hard to do.
Yeah.
Especially in wrestling. UFC can do it, but double gold.
Yeah, that's different. It was weight classes fucking matter there.
Yeah. But yeah, like I thought it was a good match.
Yeah.
Not great. I don't know how much Julia could have done.
Sure.
It was kind of short.
Do we know how she's banged up? What way?
No,
or just
not
overall,
sure.
just beat.
Beat up, I guess. I didn't watch any of the rest of the NXT show. People were like ranting and raving about it.
No, they weren't.
They were, but they're like saying it's one of the best shows they've put on.
Okay.
But I looked at the lineup and I go, well, I'm not watching a Hardy Boys match.
Yeah.
I'm not watching Ethan Page because he bores me to death.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not watching Moose. And there's something else too where I'm like, I'm not watching that either.
Doesn't sound good.
I was like, I'll watch Julia and Steph all fucking day though.
I just had an idea. I know we had this conversation, I think last week on the show, maybe, and maybe we're this week, I don't know, about combining titles and having too many titles and this, that, and the other thing. I think the WWE should bring back the U.S. tag titles and have undercard tag straps too.
Let's make it happen. Why not?
I want every match, every single moment on WWE TV to be for a title in one way or the other.
Yeah.
So do TV titles, do a cruiserweight title. Put the speed title on regular TV.
Strap everybody.
Right? You have the Intercontinental, right?
Yeah.
And then have obviously the world title, have the US tag champs and the regular tag straps. Just everybody. I want every show should have 5 matches and every single one of them should be for a random title.
Yeah, I agree. Let's make it happen.
Do a trios title.
Texarkana.
Right. Iron Man titles. Do everything. Get hardcore title. Bring the hardcore title back.
Bring it back.
24/7 championship. Bring that back.
Yeah.
Have the women's title and the Divas title.
Just bring it all back.
Just bring every single belt. The light heavyweight. Have Taka Michinoku show up for one night.
All right.
See Taka versus Great Sasuke on Monday Night Raw.
Oh, that was the picture of Steph holding the titles that I wanted to see.
Oh, those belts look fantastic.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Fine champion.
I saw the clip of Booker T being a fucking pervert.
Yeah, she does that like,
yeah.
Sucky ducky,
wow.
He's awful.
Terrible. But I also saw that Mauro Ranallo was backstage at AEW and Tony Khan better not get any fucking ideas.
No, I saw Will Ospreay took a picture with him.
Yeah.
He's like, I love this guy.
That's great. I'm sure he's a fine human being.
Remember like when
he got bullied out of professional wrestling? Yes, I do.
Not just that.
Oh.
Remember when like the Pride shows would get overdubbed with like him and Boss Rutan on commentary?
Yes.
How fucking awesome was that?
That's where Mauro belongs.
He was awesome in Pride.
Yes.
God damn.
Everything about Pride was awesome.
Pride never die.
Pride's the best.
Dude. I get emotional when I think about Pride. It's just the best. It's the fucking best ever,
I have
dude.
like the DVD box sets and shit. I loved Pride.
Go to the ridge. Go to the ridge.
Go to the ridge.
Again. Child's play.
None of these dudes.
Oh,
I don't even think current UFC fighters, the majority of them, I'm sure like Derek Lewis would probably do fine. But like, I think a majority of those dudes would have a really hard time fighting in Pride.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to.
You just like it was just different level of talent and abuse you had to take.
And the rounds are so much longer.
Yeah. Right.
God, you get in there with a prime Crow cop.
You can't grab a cage and help yourself up or keep a guy down. Nope. Like it was if you were down on the ground for too long and you got to the ropes, they just lifted you up in the hold and put you in the middle of the fucking ring.
It was great.
Like there was so less ways out of a fucking beating in Pride.
Was so cool.
Yeah.
God damn, I love Pride. All right. AEW time. Let's get to AEW.
All right, let's do it.
So talk a little bit about Collision.
Yeah,
because I actually thought Collision had some good stuff on it.
Collision had a bunch of really good wrestling.
Yeah,
that was relatively insignificant to the pay-per-view.
Yeah, which is okay.
Which is fine. It's going to get the show overlooked, I think.
I agree,
because the wrestling was really quality, and there was bits and promos and.
So the thing was about the show, there was good wrestling on it.
Yeah,
but like all the pre-tapes from wrestlers and packages, they looked. Mm-hmm. I mean, everything like this was like a quintessential go-home show to me.
Yeah.
Like, I thought this might be the best go-home show they've done.
The best go-home Collision they've done.
Yeah, okay, you're right about that. Because best go-home show was Revolution last year where Sting came down from the rafters. Yeah. Momo Watanabe versus Serena Deeb.
Yes, with Mercedes on commentary, which is nice because that leads in.
Was a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, probably the best Deeb match they've had on this fucking company.
Her and, what's-her-face had one real banger on a pre-show once. Riho.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that pre-show match they had was fucking sick. But
banger on a pre-show.
This was also very good. And I was happy because, like, I kind of bitched last week where I'm like, oh, you probably should have done the Momo match on Dynamite.
Yes.
More eyes on it.
Right.
But it is what it is.
Yeah, it's fine.
Momo, good though.
Yeah.
Another match where
Harley Cameron versus Tadevik Hunyanyan.
Nope.
No? Okay.
Nope.
It's funny that they've now been like, yeah, we're going to give Harley squash TV matches.
Dude, she can do everything in this company.
She can. Everything and anything.
Hologram versus Dralistico.
Yes.
This was actually awesome.
Well, so the LFI becomes the best stable in AEW because they beat up Abrahantes.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
so I was like, A+. That dude sucks. Beat his ass harder.
Yep. Beat his ass harder.
But yeah, like this is probably the best Dralistico match I've ever seen.
Well, I said Dralistico looked insanely motivated.
Right.
And Hologram, like, keeps delivering.
And the best thing about it is that on Dynamite, they were like, well, we're going to run with this Dralistico guy, and he sucked it up. So he stunk up the fucking joint.
Any, like, goodwill he had from Collision just disappeared.
That's why, I was like, oh, Hologram Dralistico, I'm not that interested in it. It was really good.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, maybe, whatever. And then, yeah, he looked like garbage in that tag match.
But he looked great on Collision.
He looked really good,
Hologram.
Yeah, for sure.
I like Hologram.
Yeah, Hologram actually.
Hologram's very over.
Seems to be like a good guy that they picked to be this gimmick and shit.
I know, like, he had the gray and green and then got injured, came back wearing the blue and green, and it looks so much better.
It looks so much better, but you can only buy the gray at
Which
the
is hilarious.
concession stand.
Well, no, that's no longer a Hologram mask.
That's Harleygram, right. It should come with Hulk Hogan's blonde doll hair sewed into it.
Then main event was Danny Garcia versus Lee Moriarty. I thought this was like a good TV main event.
Yes.
Like another, like, hey, let's get back to defending this TNT championship. Yeah. On Collision, which I'm fine with.
Yeah.
So here's the thing with Danny Garcia.
Yeah.
Like, and I did like the match, but we kind of briefly talked about it here on Sunday.
Yeah.
Like, with him, it's like there's something missing, and I don't know what it is.
He hasn't been able to put it all together yet.
Like, the best he was on the mic was that MJF feud when they let him talk. I remember how fired up he was.
Yep.
And I was like, dude, I want to see this guy rip Max's head off.
Right.
But like, it's just, I don't know.
It doesn't help that they're playing hot potato with his alliances.
I will agree with you on that.
But yeah, there's some, like, he's a super talented wrestler. The dance was over, but in like a gimmick way that doesn't really work for, like, I liked when they started calling him the Red Death again, but then he started wearing yellow, and I'm like, nope, you're the Red Death. Yeah, like, and I don't know if maybe he doesn't want to or whatever, but like, he's not putting on any size, and I think that's going to hold him back. Like, I don't know. I like Danny, but I think we've seen the best that Danny can give us.
Yeah, even like Tim said, he's like,
at least
there's
right
just
now,
something not clicking fully, and I don't know what it is.
Right.
But again,
it makes
really
a really
good match.
Interesting prospect because, like, if he finds that thing, it's going to be crazy. But he may never find it. He may just be one of those dudes that never finds it.
Let him talk.
Yeah.
Let him talk, or give him like a meaningful, like, real heated feud.
Yeah.
And let him talk.
Right.
Those MJF promos, man, he was fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Let's see that, because like he does have this feud with Lee Moriarty, which has been going back and forth. And I like Lee Moriarty. He's a talented wrestler. Good Ring of Honor, pure champion kind of stuff.
It's more like what I'm better than you.
What can Garcia do against Takeshita? Let's put that in the ring and see how that fucking goes. And obviously Takeshita is going to give him that boost, but like I'm pretty sure he'd be able to fucking hang.
I think so.
So like let's see that, because like these are good matches. Nobody's going to be like, oh cool, Lee Moriarty. Like it's not a shoot on Lee Moriarty. Like I think Lee's talented as hell.
I do too.
But like it's not, where the way they have positioned Lee as a company feels a little too low level to be a main Garcia feud. Yeah. So let's take him against a guy for this title that maybe looks like this dude is a little too high for the title, like a little too high up on the card for the TNT title, and see what they can work together. Like that'd be all right with that.
I agree.
My favorite thing about this match though is that there's like extracurriculars afterwards, and I can say the sentence. The UK saves DG from STP, and you understand what happened.
Yeah, the United Kingdom.
Really quick on Collision, though, because I think we're done, right?
Yeah.
There was the United Kingdom, Undisputed Kingdom FTR promo backstage. What the fuck was that supposed to be?
I have no idea.
And, like, in any other instance, like if this was just a regular backstage thing between the guys, I wouldn't even bring it up. But, like, this promo starts with FTR apologizing to them, but only one of the FTRs does. Like, I'm not going to apologize, and then FTR Hair's like, I will. And I'm like, what are you apologizing for? Like, for stop? Because of stopping the match or getting it restarted or whatever. And he was like, I never should have done that. I'm like, what is going on?
They don't know what to do with FTR.
Yeah.
At this point.
Right.
Partially what's left.
Yeah. Oh, and then they announced a rematch for the next week, and it's like, why?
It's like partially what's left, and partially you don't have much of a tag division.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know what you want to do. Like, most of the matches is going to be fucking awesome, I'm sure, but like...
Right.
I don't know where we're going here.
I think the best you can have on this roster right now is rated FTR in somewhere lost in the upper mid card. And just out of everything else. Like, Tony Khan has a couple of toys that he bought that he likes playing with that I think might be forced upon because he's like, I have to use these guys now. Like, I think he feels obligated to use some of these guys because they're there. And, like,
Which, I mean, partially, like, yeah, you should use them. You're paying for them.
Well, and that's the thing, like, if I was to be like, oh, they're going to, sit this guy, even like Daniel Garcia, if he lost the title, it'd be like, yeah, Danny can sit home for a little bit and we'll bring him back when, heat him up. But like, on paper writing like, I'm going to send FTR home for a little bit, it seems weird. Like, why not use them on TV?
Yeah.
Same thing with Cope. It's like, oh, wait, that's like, internationally, he's one of the biggest stars we've ever had. Like, and we have on the roster.
Australia.
So, like, why would I sit him home? But it's like, well, it's because there's clearly nothing for him. So, like, you're putting out some shitty TV with them.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, but I can't, can't send him home, pay or otherwise. Like, even like pay aside, it's like, but these guys are names, and it's like, yeah, but
it's tough.
But it's getting thin.
Yeah, more those guys. More on this later.
Yeah,
because now we're at Revolution.
We are.
Only thing of note from the pre-show is the Rizzler and OC.
The Rizzler and OC all day.
That was fucking insane.
Yep.
Insane.
Yep. Rizzler getting the OC rub.
He looked great.
Mm-hmm.
We were all just cackling when he came out with OC.
Hopefully he didn't get hurt this time.
Yeah, that's true. That was fun. Fun, like, house show main event tag style.
Mm-hmm.
Not Big Justice, Big AJ hitting the Kawada style power bombs.
Wild that man was like, I'm gonna splay out with my power bombs. That's how I do these.
Well, he was at the New Japan Dojo training, brother.
That is true.
How crazy is that?
That's ridiculous. And he did reveal post show that they are all under contract with AEW.
Those action figures better be next up,
dude. They Jazzwares Vault 3-pack.
Yeah.
Because to make the Rizzler and Big Justice
Vault
is the
you're
same.
Going Vault, you got to get them in stores, brother.
No.
You don't think a little kid walking the aisle that sees a fucking Rizzler figure isn't going to go nuts?
I think that little kids aren't going to look at AEW branded things to see that it's the Rizzler.
If you see the Rizzler,
right, but
you're not going to buy it if you're a kid.
No, you absolutely are.
Mommy, I want Big Justice.
Right, but the when you look at the packaging for all that stuff, it says AEW, and I think most people walk by that. You know, like, I'm worried that people aren't going to find the Rizzler because they're not going to be looking at AEW figures. It'll be like, oh, this Rizzler figure's back here behind the 7 Wardlows that still sit
but it's
here.
in a wrestling figure section.
Yeah.
So it's right next to WWE. I mean, hey, you see a Rizzler fucking figure? You'd buy a Rizzler.
We'll see. I would not buy a fucking Rizzler.
What about a Big Justice?
No.
Those are good working spear.
No.
You'd buy a Big AJ.
I absolutely would not.
Listen, you're the guy who went to Costco to get a fucking chicken
and it was
bake,
delicious.
Okay? And a double.
That was okay.
No, the cookie was very good.
The cookie was fine.
I like the cookie.
I don't think the cookie was anything better than any other big ticket chocolate chip cookie, but the chicken bake, that's where it was at.
Fucking, what are you, big cookie over here?
I am.
What the fuck is that? Main event. Or not main event.
Can't you see?
Let's get to the pay-per-view proper.
Yes.
Hangman Page versus MJF.
I have no notes. We're playing from the hip here because I don't take notes when we're watching together.
Yeah, me neither, but I go back and try to make some notes. Fantastic opening.
Great opener.
Great decision for an opener, I thought. MJF landing on his fucking face from that angel's wings was gnarly.
Disgusting. I'm surprised he wasn't knocked out or had the.
It was bad.
He's surprised he didn't stand up with his face like pushed over.
Yeah, and it was just it's a clean win for the Hangman, which is rare for MJF to lose on pay-per-view.
Right.
So I thought that was. I'm like, obviously this is not the end of their story.
Maybe he's on his way out, Brett. You don't know.
Yeah, that's not happening.
MJF has seemed to have unlocked a part of him that, or somebody helping him. Like, because he's been on a fucking roll, including all this through Dynamite.
Yeah.
But Hanger's the dude. Although I don't like his haircut.
Oh, he looks so handsome.
It's too short. Looks a little weird.
I love it.
Yeah.
Listen, he cut it down to the awkward stage just to grow it back out. All right.
He did definitely cut it to the awkward stage.
I love Hangman.
Yeah.
God damn, he fucking rules. But this match was awesome.
It was very good. Yes, absolutely.
Like, definitely set the tone for the pay per view. Like, hey, we're not here to fuck around. You know.
Max, we've said it every time. The problem with that dude is not in between the ropes.
He could go, man. He is so good.
Yeah.
Mercedes Moné versus Momo Watanabe.
Yes.
First half of this match is a little rough. Not going to lie.
Yeah, they had to get there. They worked it out.
Didn't click.
Yeah.
The second half of this match.
Yeah, they got there.
Awesome.
It's good enough that Marcus ain't a complete hater, so.
Turning the tides, baby.
Final Wrestling Place is now a Mercedes Moné podcast.
That's true.
So.
Mercedes got kicked right in her shit.
Right in the larynx.
Dude, she, like, when that happened, we all just popped up off the couch and went, ooh.
Yeah. Momo in her first match was better.
Yeah, it's better.
But it's still really good.
Momo, one of the only 5 times of, like, taking that finisher right.
Yeah, she pretty close. Yep. Fucked her ankle up.
Yeah, which is, I hope she's okay.
On nothing, on just like a jump down.
Yeah, that happens. I hope she's okay. But I thought the match was very good.
It was good.
First half rough, second half they were fucking rolling, dude.
Right. And the first half wasn't bad. It was just
it's not bad, but it was like, ugh.
Yeah.
Tell you what, I think Mercedes has found that footing, my friend.
I think she. I think if next week they're like Sasha Banks versus Penelope Ford, you're gonna be like, fuck.
Yeah.
But she definitely rises to the occasion and she can go. Like, Momo's great.
Look at that match with Harley.
Yeah, the match.
You know what I mean?
Harley's better than Penelope, but yes, right. Yeah. She definitely helped Harley there. But like, Sasha, if Mercedes, Sasha, whatever, is going to be doing undercard matches, like, you better get Emmy Soccer on the fucking horn and just run that. Like,
let's go.
So, because Emmy rules.
Just don't run Mercedes and Sheeta for whatever reason.
No. But also put Sheeta back on TV because where the fuck is she? And she got a haircut and she's been wearing
she looks great
blazers without shirts underneath on her social media and
tingles. Next match I have Swerve versus Ricochet.
Swerve versus Ricochet. This was all right.
Almost got me hot, brother.
Who'd these guys ever beat?
Dude, it is unbelievable how much of a fucking asset Ricochet is to this company now.
And I'm gonna jump ahead.
I'm shocked.
So I'm gonna do this throughout this because I think there's some things that happen on the pay-per-view that then are followed up on Dynamite in a really interesting and meaningful way. So Ricochet is fucking phenomenal here. This match rules. Yeah. And we'll talk about the match in a second. But the thing that shocked me the most this week was that with Ricochet losing here, it's very easy to be like, this is done. Let's figure the rest of this out or whatever. Right? Like, where does he go from here or whatever? And he comes on Dynamite and he kills it. like
kills it.
Like it's very easy. He could drop the gimmick. He could pull back from it a little bit, and like he leans in on. They have him lean in on Dynamite, and like he's like, yeah, I lost, but I still fucking rule. And
what I love, and such like a small thing, like he wears hats now because he's like, oh, you're gonna call me bald? Fuck you.
Right.
I'm gonna wear my hat.
Right. He's doing a really great job. But this match is fantastic.
Oh my god.
Ricochet, I don't even think loses anything from this match.
He gains. He gains from losing.
And Swerve is the fucking dude.
Dude, I have here, like, Swerve is, like, your main player in AEW to me.
Yeah. He's sending some signals with the hair color that if you know, you know. But, yeah, the dude is still cultivating mass.
Dude, there's
Looks like $1 million.
There's a couple things in this match.
Yeah.
The Poison Rana on the apron was fucking gross.
Yeah.
The table cop
Everybody
killer.
else has to stop doing fucking Poison Ranas.
Yeah, because there was one on the pre-show that was super fucking bad where I audibly went, ugh, and Michelle just started laughing really hard because she's like, what the fuck was that? The table cop killer looked gross.
Thank you for using the name that its mama gave it.
It's a proper nomenclature.
Yeah.
The one, though, that like really like, again, we all just lost our minds. Swerve goes for his suicide dive.
Oh, boy.
Ricochet catches him on the shoulders and not even like catches him to like make sure he's secure. In like one fluid motion, just drops him with a Death Valley driver on the floor.
I think he caught him a little off balance, and he just went with it.
He looked like he killed Swerve.
I saw people and be like, "What? So unprofessional! He could have really been hurt here."
Fuck you, dude.
No, it was fucking awesome. Swerve tucked. Like, it was perfectly fine, and it looked like $1 million.
Yeah.
Same thing, similar situation on Dynamite this week with Cage, where Cage goes to catch the suplex spot, but it was hologram, right?
Yeah, because normally when Cage catches it, he holds you in it.
The hologram's moving a little too hot, and so Cage just threw him backwards.
Yeah, which is perfect. It looked insane.
Everybody's like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
Like, people actually started going, wait, is Brian Cage good?
Yeah.
Off of that one fucking thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what... They did a hell of a job running that fucking move in that.
And, during the match, Nana leaves because Swerve's not listening to him.
Yep.
He's flipping off Swerve because he's pissed off.
Right.
And he comes back out later and he grabs that robe.
Because Ricochet has modified the robe finally and put his logo on the back of it and everything.
So Nana grabs that robe, tries to escape with it. Ricochet gets him and rips it off of him. Swerve finally gets back in the ring. Swerve hits him with the fucking house call twice. Murdered him.
The one on the outside.
Insane.
Yeah.
And I love this, and we talked about this a couple days ago. Like, after the match, Swerve, everything, getting his arm raised, gets the robe, goes down on one knee in front of Nana, and, like, gives him that robe back. And it was such a cool,
incredible
moment for them. Nana puts it on and immediately starts dancing. And it's like, hey, we may get hot at each other sometimes.
Yeah.
But this is a friendship.
Yeah.
You're not breaking this.
It's funny, and we're gonna say this at least one other time. But in a different booked world, that moment could have ended this show too.
Yeah. Swerve, I agree with that.
The whole arena cheering for Swerve, doing the dance with Nana as Nana has presented the robe.
Yeah.
You could have ended the show on that too.
I agree with that. I don't know where the tag match was in sequence here.
It doesn't matter. It was around there somewhere, and it was fine.
Bad.
It was fine.
It was bad. Outrunners, listen, I like the gimmick.
Yeah.
I do. They're not very good in the ring.
It's not the worst match on this show.
It's not, but
it went too long. If it was one spot of offense, a little bit of shine for the Outrunners, cut off end.
I said 5 to 6 minutes would have been perfect.
But they give it 12 or whatever. It's just too much, especially for how Hurt Syndicate is booked. They should have ran through them. Like, this was kind of a joke match, but works because of who the Outrunners are, because of the character, and then you ask them to do more in the ring than they need to. And they're also not dudes that are going to be able to move around a guy like Lashley or whatever. So,
but it was like simple stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, they're I
don't think you're asking them to do anything.
They're a body slam elbow drop team.
Yeah.
That's all you're going to get out of them. And that's fine.
Yeah.
I guess they're officially now under full-time contracts. They haven't been.
Good for them. I mean, hey, get your money.
Right,
but
and they certainly have a place, but we're good here.
Yeah, don't need to see this again.
Right.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Okada versus Brody.
Yes.
Only notes I have here is I haven't seen Okada get his ass beat like this in a long fucking time.
Whooped on.
Brody was whooping that ass.
Yes. I thought this was really good.
I'm not gonna say really good. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
I liked watching Brody beat up Okada.
You're a little mad at Okada.
100%.
Yeah.
Listen, me and Ed.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I go back and I watch the other shit and I'm like, that's the guy. And
He might not be that guy anymore. It's just what it is.
Breaks my heart.
Yeah.
You guys, hey, listen, just because you accept less in your life, that's okay.
I just, it's...
Listen, it's almost like you're watching WWE and, you want more out of them, but they always give you less, but you just accept that. And your expectation, you lower it so you can accept it, so you can have fun.
I think Okada is still wrestling fine. I think it's more of a personal choice. And I'm excited to get that next gear Okada, and I hope we do.
Oh, listen, this match, I'm not saying this match is bad.
Yeah, I know.
It's just like, but it never got to that next gear.
But if the man has decided that this is a cool down period of his life, I'm just going to thank him for the decade plus of being the best wrestler on the planet.
You want more.
And being like, all right, pal, take your time. It's okay. You can,
give me more.
You can relax. You're still the legend of Barnesville in my mind.
Oh, God damn it. But again, I think it did more to elevate Brody.
Yeah, that's what this was for. He, yeah,
it was good.
He swung back on Brody, but this was Brody's showcase.
Yeah,
and then to lose, but
Hollywood ending.
Yeah,
Tony Storm, Mariah May.
Yes.
Last week I made a pitch to you.
Yeah.
That I felt very strongly that this should main event this show.
Correct.
After watching this match,
and I agreed 100% with you last week.
Yeah, okay, I'm sure you did. After watching this match,
yeah,
do you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you think I was correct or incorrect in my opinion?
So here's the thing. There was two things. I had realized that before I even watched the pay-per-view because I don't know who it was, but I saw somebody online say that the women's title is a world title too.
Absolutely it is.
And I was like, oh, fuck, I've been sexist.
Yeah, you have, you pig.
And I was like, I'm
pig.
Right. I was just like, yeah, it is.
Male chauvinistic
it's also
pig.
The world title. Yeah. And it's wrestling doesn't treat women's titles that way, but it is. And they main evented the last pay-per-view. Right? Didn't they? Or something? Didn't Mariah in her main event something?
Australia.
Oh, okay, which wasn't a pay-per-view. It was just a special show. Correct.
Even though some people thought it was a pay-per-view in their minds.
But it wasn't. But that's still a big show for them, the main event.
Absolutely, no doubt.
So, here's the thing. Hindsight's 20/20, right? And you don't know what's being planned and what's going to happen in anything.
Of course.
So, I still think if the main event of AEW was the best it could have been, you weren't beating this match. So, and I didn't I knew it was going to be good, and it's my fault, but this was amazing, and knowing now that they went all out like they did and had the marquee and the big sign and all that, this show absolutely should have ended with them in the pile on the top of the ramp. That's with the end. It's absolutely how it should end.
Should have been it.
The middle of the show, it's 100% absolutely how that this pay-per-view should have ended. That being said, also hindsight 20/20, after seeing the pay-per-view that we saw, only the tag match out of the rest of the card is a match that couldn't have ended the pay-per-view over what they actually ended the pay-per-view with, match-wise. Everything else would have been a better ending than the pay-per-view except for that tag match.
Yeah, I agree with that.
We'll talk, now we'll get there when we talk about it, but but out of everything on this card, this is the match to end. It blows off the blood feud. Yeah. It's your biggest storyline. It was your most cinema-esque, but it was done. Everything about this match was done so fucking well. This is what I would. You just need to.
I think this is one of the best blow-offs to a wrestling feud.
Absolutely.
Maybe of all time.
Tony Storm might be the best wrestler AEW has.
Tony Storm is fucking incredible.
And I mean that
everything out of the park.
As an entire concept.
Yeah.
Everything.
The whole package.
Is she the best in-ring performer they have? She's not. she's the best female, she's the best women's wrestler they have, but obviously Osprey, Omega, whatever are probably technically better than her in the ring. But as an entire pro wrestling entity, no one's better than Toni Storm.
I agree with that.
Nobody's better than Toni Storm.
I'll
and seemingly nobody gets the business as well as she does. No. So yeah, I mean it's just what it is. Like this was just so fucking good.
Yeah. This was another one that instantly we were losing our minds during.
And I say hindsight is 2020. That it should. Internally in AEW, and I know why you can't because of who's in the main event, and the theories going around about all that kind of stuff. But knowing, seeing what you have planned and looking at the run sheet and seeing this stuff, someone in AEW should have said, "Hey, maybe."
Yeah, no doubt.
Maybe we do something here.
Absolutely.
I don't know how you look at this card and go, yeah, that's all right. Knowing what's planned for everything, it was hard enough to say that it should be the main event because it's the world title before we saw anything. But internally, knowing the things and the stakes and the violence and the bodies on the line that this and the cage match do, I don't know how internally you were yeah, this can still stay there. Just knowing what they're going to do before they do it.
Part of me wants to be I want to know if anybody pitched this to be the main event.
They had to,
because I would have said kudos to you for seeing the bigger picture.
The way it ended with the end on the screen,
it was perfect.
And I know that it means for the feud or the match.
Perfect.
That would have ended the paper. Everybody be talking about.
Just perfect.
Yeah.
This
Oscar
match
award winning
was so fucking violent.
Yep.
Toni Storm hits an all timer.
She hits it so good that she looks at the camera, wipes blood out of her face, and goes, "Fuck."
Yeah.
She's in 4 or 5 stitches. She showed.
Yeah. She had to get staples.
Poke and twist.
Mariah bleeds a ton too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you had fucking Taipei fists.
Amen, brother.
What are we doing here?
Yeah.
I loved it. This is what it needed to be.
Mm-hmm.
For how crazy the twists and turns were in this story and how violent the Mariah turn was. Toni with the rookie gimmick and coming back and getting her ass beat.
Yeah.
Just so she can get another shot.
Mm-hmm.
The great win for the title in her hometown. And then, her getting laid out by that pile driver by Mariah on the stage was nuts.
Yep.
And I was like, no, this is what we needed.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible. It was absolutely incredible. I loved it, top to bottom. This feud it was amazing.
Absolutely fantastic.
I've been thinking where this lands in my top feuds in AEW.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely my top 3.
Yeah.
Might be number 2.
Yeah.
Number 1 is still Hanger and
Swerve and Hanger. Yeah.
That's probably number 1.
Mm-hmm.
And I go 2A, 2B, probably this and Punk MJF.
Yeah.
Because that was that was great TV.
Mm-hmm.
But I love this, man. I fucking loved it.
Absolutely
loved it so much. Yeah. It's just kudos to the both of them for just going for it.
The funniest thing is watching this pay-per-view, and most of us who the ones of us here who are akin to this kind of behavior are oh, get my match of the year list out 3 separate times on this fucking show.
Doug was texting me on Monday. Yeah. He's I'm still thinking about that match.
It's really interesting to look at this and think you can see Tony Khan, whether he's a hater or not, but whatever. The ECW fan, he's this stuff is if Tony Khan can just make AEW and I hate to use this term because I hate it when it's used for elevated horror and shit, but elevated ECW, cinematic ECW, where the in-ring is better and different. Now, not that the in-ring in ECW wasn't a lot of times, but elevating the in-ring while also maintaining or elevating the level of psychoticness that ECW brought to the table, which is something that this match did.
Yeah.
They wrapped their fists and dipped them in glass. This is
great.
So and the wrestling was great. This is
Mariah
a super good match.
Smashed a glass bottle off Tony's fucking crotch.
That was my favorite part of the night is when that happened and Doug went, "Wait, where did she smash that?" And I said, "Inner vagine, Doug." And he lost it.
He giggled. Unbelievable.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic.
Did you show Michelle this match?
No, I showed her a picture.
Oh, did you?
I said, "Here's what you missed."
Was it the one where Tony's laying on the ground and the camera pans up and it like you said it perfectly? Go. It looks like somebody peeled her face off.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
And just what did Michelle say?
Yeah, she was like, "Ah, no." So,
and crazily enough, that I don't know if that's the most insane blood somebody got this week. It might be somebody else we talk about later.
Right. I don't know. It's man. I mean, she was rough.
She was rough.
Yeah. I don't know though.
I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on here. Kenny Omega versus.
I will tell you. Though, I will say this one thing. I found out not last week, but the week before the Christopher Daniels Raspberry Jam incident. Whenever that was, I had that in the match graphic on for the social media posts, and it got sent. It got flagged on Blue Sky.
Blue Sky did. So Blue Sky did that to me a while ago.
Yeah.
I don't know if I had somebody bloody, or it might have been the picture of Muda where he missed Flair. It looks like Flair's face is peeling off. They flagged.
Yeah,
and I was
you
like,
just click and see
I
it.
was like, fuck you.
Like they don't pull stuff.
No.
But strap in Blue Sky because you're blocking something else this week. He's lucky. They're lucky it's not all 4 blood pictures.
Yeah, don't you know this is America?
That's right.
Kenny Omega versus Konosuke Takeshita for the international title. This was another one, like, I felt like it was taking the crowd a little bit to get into it because coming off the match.
So it's hard. Like the other thing about Tony Storm Mariah May is it's near impossible to follow, which is also why you should be at the end.
I agree.
But this happened a couple times in this night because it is an all timer. Like the up until the main event, these were all timer matches. It's an all time pay per view. It still is an all time pay per view even with the main event. But like a match of the gravity of Mariah and Tony and how it ended and what they do exhausts a crowd.
Oh, 100%.
You know, like if there was intermissions on the shows, this goes before intermission if it's not main event.
There would have one thing I think helped the show. This was out in LA. 3 hours behind us. So I think it helps. Crowd has a little more energy.
This was also a Sunday matinee for those people.
Also, shout out Leslie Jones during that
best
swerve.
Nigel McGuinness called her like
Ricochet.
Nana's mom
on
commentary.
It was fucking incredible. She was amazing.
Huge shout out to Leslie Jones. I love her. She's fucking hilarious.
Somebody was like, "This is what like ladies in like '80s NWA were screaming at the like the rock and rolls to get up."
And like Ken Jeong was getting into it. Will Sasso was like, that's the other thing AEW did that we haven't seen much of. A lot of celebrity interactions.
A lot of and like ones that are actually wrestling fans too. You know,
Right.
which I think that's very cool.
Yeah, you're not just putting whoever.
Yeah, you're not just going through a commercial break on Raw. Like, here's a guy on Netflix.
Yeah,
like,
right. Nor are you putting problematic podcasters that you probably shouldn't have on your television.
Yeah. But this match, I love that Kenny fought from underneath most of the match.
Yeah, right.
He didn't get a ton in.
No.
It was like, okay, I'm the older guy. I know I'm coming back. This is my first real big test in AEW since I've been back.
Well, and Take is dominant. You can't treat him like a lightweight.
You can't. Yeah. And obviously Take, like you said, is just a force of nature. So I loved him fighting from underneath.
Another thing Tim and I agree on. Take's probably like the best in the world right now. He's fucking fantastic.
He's for me, he's like 1B. Because we're going to talk about somebody next.
Yeah.
I loved him just fighting from underneath though, because Kenny's not going to overwhelm you, especially Takeshi. He's not getting overwhelmed,
right? And
I love that it's a fucking roll up pin.
Me
it
too.
Was great. It was like I'm the veteran here. Like I caught him. That's all it was. I just caught him.
Right.
Like I didn't beat his ass. It wasn't a definitive one wing angel 1, 2, 3.
Right.
No, I caught him in a roll up.
Yep.
Love that. The match was fucking awesome.
Wrestling at any point, in my opinion, could always do that.
Yeah.
It's an aspect of wrestling that can always fucking happen.
I agree.
So
because anybody can get caught.
Right. You just can't use it all the time.
No, not all the time. But
right
like this was perfect use of it.
Absolutely.
Kenny, great to see him back, dude.
Looks great.
What, like, man, these two have great chemistry.
Yeah.
And I think their story's done for now.
Yeah.
But you can always come back to it. Always.
I think, the Callis family is improving. Callis is doing really fun things on commentary and in matches all the time. But yeah, Take stays there and involved. And, I didn't want to see him lose the title. I'm fine that he did, obviously. To Kenny, who cares? The match was really great. Not who cares about Kenny, but I know what you mean. It's Kenny. It's going to happen. But Take is committed. He's a champion in New Japan. So, There is the wisdom of not having a title on somebody who is floating all around.
He's got obligations there, obligations in DDT.
And you're right. And he's
working. I was just literally going to say he's working Mal Mania weekend. That's going to be one we're going to have to get together and watch that shit.
Yeah, Ed got a ticket. I heard him book his flight when that got announced. But Take's still going to be around, and it doesn't mean he's not going to win other titles. He might get this back or whatever, but it'll be short runs because he's going to be at times unavailable, especially if he's a champion in a company like New Japan. During their hot seasons, they're going to need him.
You think New Japan doesn't want him in the G1?
Right.
They have to have him there.
Exactly.
They know that.
Exactly.
DDT needs him for the big shows. I mean, he's a fucking freak, dude.
Yes. So
speaking of freak shit.
Will
Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher in a cage.
Yes, Wilbur Goat versus El Hijo del Randy Orton.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's on the match of the year.
My immediate thought when this was over was, well, wrestling's done.
It is.
It's done.
It is currently penciled in as my match of the year.
I have it on my list.
So, I don't have everything ranked, but I was like, this is going on the top for now.
I think it was absolutely brilliant.
Yes.
Now, listen.
I have 3 matches from the show on my match.
I know people's mileage may vary with like Mark Davis getting involved and stuff.
Yeah.
If you don't like that, I understand.
Sure.
I get that. 100%.
I got 99 problems, but Mark Davis ain't one.
Even like weapons getting involved in a cage match, I understand.
Sure.
Keep in mind they bring weapons into war games.
Right.
They didn't do that on the original war games. They didn't bring your weapons in.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So, if you're going to call it one thing, call it the other.
Your weapon was Dr. Death. That's why.
God, fuck Dr. Death. Blown away by this. It's just another like crazy blow off to this long feud that these two have had.
It has the moments. It has the wrestling.
Yeah.
Like it's got everything that you would need. Like it's got the things that people say AEW doesn't have.
Yeah,
that they do.
It felt hateful.
Yeah, right.
It like you could tell it was like Ospreay trying to hold back a little bit. And Fletcher, nope, fuck you. I mean, you got tacks, fucking barbed wire baseball bats.
Yep.
I mean, it was fucking insane, dude.
Yeah.
Ospreay doing the Spanish fly off the top of the cage was crazy. Kyle Fletcher, though, what a star.
I mean, MVP of the year, really.
He's a star, dude.
Yeah.
He's an absolute star. To me, this is just another of, like, Will Ospreay, like, hey, everybody, let's step your shit up.
That dude is going to be on the top 10 richest wrestlers list when his contract is up because somebody's going to pay him a lot of fucking money.
Dude, Will Ospreay.
Somebody's going to have to.
He's unbelievable.
Fletcher is going to be so rich.
Fletcher's going to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Ospreay, Ospreay's just, he's worth every penny.
If
he is worth every goddamn penny.
I'm telling you, if he just wasn't so against the grind, man. Like if he was just really showed that like extra to really go that extra mile and get out there and really grind.
Go fuck your ass.
Then
like it's just watching. I don't want to use the word like I feel privileged watching Will Ospreay wrestle, but every time I watch this guy, it's just like I'm blown away. Especially on pay-per-views, he actually takes it up a notch.
He is the most to steal a turn of phrase from a man that certainly isn't this anymore. Ospreay's the most electrifying professional wrestler on the planet right now.
I think he's the most must-see guy.
Yeah.
Even like Dynamite, like that fucking promo we cut. It's like he's fun. He's showing personality.
He's found his charm.
Yeah, like he connects with the crowds. Like a fun one like last night. But then, like, he flips it at the end and he gets serious and the crowd is just eating it up. Like, I love Will Ospreay. I love him so fucking much.
He's your number one?
Yeah. I just can't see how not.
It's completely...
He's unbelievable,
He's
dude.
definitely, like, the guy, like, that should be, and, like, he's so good he is running that, like, never wins a title good because what does the title do for Ospreay?
What does the title do for him?
Nothing. The title does nothing for him. But you're going to be probably compelled to put it on him, which is fine. It just does nothing for him.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit.
But yeah, he's the most exciting dude to watch. Yeah. Takeshita, I think, is the best in my opinion. Takeshita has that like slight factor of believability. Like Like because what my preferred style, like Takeshita is better at standing 2 feet in the middle of the ring and swinging.
Yeah, of course.
But Takeshita isn't as exciting as Ospreay. Ospreay is like, you have to watch this dude fucking go.
Yeah.
Because he's doing crazy shit and, and his wrestling is incredible. Like, he really is that dude.
Yeah.
So, and again, if he just was willing to do the grind.
It's just, this was an all-timer for me, man.
Yeah.
Like, I think I said afterwards, I'm like, somebody get me a cigarette.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm just...
Yeah. It really is. It's my match of the year.
Oh, my God.
Right now.
It was fucking... Like, even the end before Ospreay hits him with that hidden blade and Fletcher's just screaming at him like, I fucking hate you.
Yep.
Like,
yeah.
just boom.
And the thing, this is the other match that I think you could have ended the show on.
Yeah.
Like,
this could have ended
it's a cage match, so it already has that sort of
and it's again a long
prestige.
Feud,
yeah,
right. A lot of history with
big
these
moments,
two.
and it's big exciting things.
Yeah.
And while there's not a title on the line, it's still kind of, sort of, seemingly the end of a blood feud in one way or the other.
It is, yeah.
And it's a cage match, so you can always justify that. But like Ospreay standing triumphant in the cage or on top of the cage to end the pay-per-view would have been.
Dude, I love that shot at the when Ospreay came out and Fletcher's standing on one side of the cage, Ospreay on the other, and like Ospreay holds his arms out in the crowd chanting his name. Like that's fuck. Oh, I love that shit, man. Yeah. Hold on. Let me slap my forearms real quick.
It's a forearm slapper.
Main event.
Is that where we're at?
Yeah.
All right.
John Moxley versus Adam Copeland.
Yeah.
For the AEW World Title.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going. I had such low expectations for this.
Worst match on the card.
And I think it went even lower than I thought it could go.
Yeah.
Like, it started out...
The only matches it beat were the pre-show matches that weren't the one with Big Justice in it.
Yeah.
Seriously, OC and Big Justice was better than this.
More entertaining. It started out Edge is throwing bombs. I'm going, okay. Like, he's really laying his shit in here.
We talked about it as it was happening, because at this point, we're like, all right, Tony Storm should have finished.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, all right, now we're getting to, like, these fucking matches right in a row. And we were just like, okay, crowd's going to be exhausted. How do you follow that? Hopefully these guys are backstage and they're having the conversation like, all right, we can't just go out there and have a match. We have to kill. Like, we have... This
can't be an 80s style NWA grueling main event.
Even if we weren't planning on it, we got to go out and push ourselves now.
Yeah.
And sadly, Edge versus Dean Ambrose didn't do it.
No.
Because that's what this match was to me.
That's what it felt like. I think Marcus might have said, like, this is a quote-unquote WWE dream match that nobody's asking for.
Nobody asked for it. Nobody asked for it.
And, like, the hatred wasn't there.
No.
Like Mox, this dude just took out all your guys.
Right. It's the hatred hasn't been there in this whole program.
And it hasn't been, but it's like, he just took out all your guys. Like, you should want to kill him.
Yeah.
And, like, there just never was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a complete miss for me.
You and I have these conversations all the time because, believe it or not, even when we don't have microphones in front of us, we're usually talking wrestling.
Yeah.
We just try not to talk about all this stuff so that we can keep it fresh for the show. But, like, a babyface is made better by the strength of their heel.
Yeah.
And whatever this fucking idea is, whatever the plan was with Death Riders, whatever threw a wrench into it, if it was Darby leaving or what, I
still think that has a lot to do
maybe
with
there was no wrench. Maybe this was what was going on. Tony Khan recently said he's taking back the reins. Maybe this wasn't on his watch. I don't fucking know what the excuse is. But everyone is in agreement. It's been flat since it started. And the Death Riders, they're not a threat. They're not a threat in the main event at all, even though they're trying to be. But they're also like, they're supposed to be this, we're changing the company. But they're not a threat outside the main event. No other matches are worried about them. Nobody else even fucking mentions them.
No.
If Swerve Ricochet's a number one contenders match, the champion should have something to do with it. And up until this point in the linearness of we're talking about in this pay-per-view, nothing.
Yeah.
And like, so this Moxley run as a heel has me completely, it had me disinterested, and this match has completely shut me down from Mox. I was never a Cope guy anyway. I keep waiting for them to switch off a Cope.
Yeah.
But like, we talk about on the show all the time. I like Mox. I love Mox. You say, I never got him as Dean Ambrose. And, you're always like so happy to see you watching Fall in Love with Mox, and I really did.
Yeah.
And I'm checked out now.
Yeah, I'm very. I just have no interest right now.
Right. This match stunk out loud.
Yeah, I don't know what they were trying to accomplish. And it didn't work.
Right.
It's just not good.
And you're behind the ball because of how great this pay-per-view was under the undercard, right?
Yeah, and it just felt like it was just so fucking overbooked.
But you come out and grab a headlock? That's your plan?
Yeah.
Like, why not do 10 test of strength and 10 count punches in the corner? It didn't work. There was no stipulation.
No.
And, what do you do because there's a ton of stipulations? You figure something out.
How to do something.
Last man standing, fucking first blood.
Street fight.
Yeah. Well, they had one. The Hollywood ending was already kind of a street fight, so they couldn't repeat those.
Do another one.
I agree.
Who gives
don't worry,
shit?
they are.
Let's run it back on Dynamite.
Yeah.
What?
But, this was bad.
Yeah.
And it left, I think, everybody with a bad taste. Now, the ending, there's nothing to talk about the match. It's heatless.
Like,
Yuta's there.
Yuta's there, gets run off by Switchblade.
The Christian shit.
Switch accidentally hits fucking Edge with the briefcase. Mm-hmm. At that point, the crowd kind of got a little back into it. Christian tries to do the cash-in shit. They worked their way around that to get away from it, which I was like, okay, good.
Well, and the rumor
God
that came out this week, they said that, the one meeting that came through was that TK or whoever was like, listen, we're getting rid of this fucking contract.
Thank God.
Which,
what a misstep.
Right, which is the right call.
Yeah.
But not the right call to book a main event of your pay-per-view just to do that.
I agree with that. This easily could have been done on a Dynamite.
Because it's a dumb idea. And, the tease of Christian winning.
Well, when Mox has Christian in the Bulldog choke and Christian puts the hand on him, I think Joe goes, yeah, that would have been a way too cute.
Right, but it's not the reaction you want out of, especially, and I guess, maybe you don't know how the rest of this show is going to deliver, but, if you didn't know that the matches that delivered were going to fucking deliver, you haven't been paying attention to your talent.
Yeah, I can't even buy that shit, because if you look at that fucking card on paper,
right.
Everybody going in was like, oh shit,
right.
This is going to be a banger.
Exactly. If you didn't realize that this was how this was going to shake out, you're not paying attention to your roster enough.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And I think Tony has a little bit of blinders, so there's a bunch of because we don't know the inside, right? If this is Mox's creative and his ideas, go fuck yourself.
Bad.
If this is Cope, fuck yourself.
I said if this is what he wants, then maybe Phil was right.
Right. But and people are going to talk, and we don't know. Maybe we'll find out eventually. But people are talking that I don't want to lose this guy. I don't want to lose the blood back and forth.
Sure.
That doesn't work for me, brher.
Fu Manchu,
whichever hat, which is now said in the 1950s, I guess. But don't work for me, Brutus. Ugh. But whoever's idea this was, or whoever dropped the ball, if Tony let this happen while he wasn't on call,
it was very WWE.
You fucked yourselves. You failed. It sucked out loud.
It was very 2012 to 2018 WWE.
It is probably the worst pay-per-view main event they've ever had.
It is. I said it overtook MJF Switchblade for me. I still feel bad for Switchblade.
MJF Switchblade was at least a good match. It was just the fact that they let MJF do all that shit to Switchblade after when MJF should have been a one-armed dead man.
Yep.
That's what hurts that match. But otherwise, the wrestling was fine. If you cut out the gimmick, that match ruled.
God, you made Switchblade look like a chump.
Right. He's still recovering from that.
Yeah.
But this was the absolute wrong fucking way to go.
Yeah.
Huge misstep. You fucked up.
Now, I did like the ending of the show.
So the ending of the show when Swerve comes out is great.
Yeah.
And the thing is, when I think about it, I think that's why they didn't shift the card.
Yeah,
because Tony thought the Swerve moment was going to be huge.
And it was.
And it's big, and it's great.
It was a big moment.
But it's helped because the match was so bad, people were just wanted anything.
Yeah.
And you can't do that in the middle of the card. It doesn't make any, if that's second down from the main event, it doesn't make any sense, right?
Yeah, I agree with that.
So you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't there.
Yeah.
But I would have figured.
To me though, it was Swerve with the stomp out of the fucking crowd. And when he stands up and hits that pose and that crowd's going nuts for him. I just want to tap Tony Khan on the shoulder and be like, hey buddy.
Yeah.
That's your guy.
Yeah.
That's your guy at Dynasty.
You have to. If you don't,
that's him.
Swerve is champion at or before Dynasty needs to happen.
That's him right there.
Mm-hmm.
Stop fucking
that's
around.
Your guy. Yeah.
Get this shit out of here. It's not working. It sucks.
Yeah.
There's your guy.
You have an embarrassment of riches in your main event singles picture right now. That's your dude.
Yeah, I mean, and that was a question where I asked Final Wrestling Place this week, like, you know, I gave him 8 names, and I told you yesterday the 8 names.
The 8 columns of heaven.
Yeah, like that. I think there's 8 guys you could really build this main event scene around. You could, you know, interweave them. Feuds can go on and off between different guys, combinations of guys in it, and you know, the guys I named were Hangman, MJF.
So, and I think your 8, which I'm sorry you're going to name right now, I think your 8 are just the guys that are like already at that point. I think there's probably 4 other guys that just need a tiny nudge into that main event.
Yeah.
So,
I'm talking like right now. Like these are the guys where it's like, okay, get Moxley out of here for now. Get Edge out of here. This ain't fucking working. I'm like, you have Hangman, MJF, Swerve, Ricochet, Takeshita, Kenny, Ospreay, Fletcher.
Right.
Build it.
Right. And I think
it's an embarrassment of riches right
Absolutely.
now that you have those 8.
Right.
That could be your main event scene. Build it.
Right. You can get Okada if you build them up. Brody's
ready.
One win away, one significant win away from being there. You can conceivably do it with Buddy if you wanted to.
Buddy can be part of it.
Like there's, you know, like there's some guys there.
Like, get this fucking title off, Mox. If you want to keep the Death Rider shit going, drop it down a little bit.
Right.
Have guys challenge them like Brody and Buddy. And even if you want to put Edge at that part, whatever, just get it away from the world title. Get it away from the main event scene. Enough. You want to have him headline a Collision? Fine. I'm okay with that. Not this the way it is right now though. And it sucks because like you said, this pay-per-view felt like some all-time shit. But unfortunately, what do people remember?
Without that main event, it's the best pay-per-view they've ever put on.
Absolutely.
Without that main event, it might be the best in-ring pay-per-view of all time.
Yeah. But then this happens and it's a fucking stinker.
Right. It just
puts a fucking black eye on it a bit, you know?
Yeah, that's what people are gonna remember because you're telling the audience that's your biggest story, and it's not.
It's not. It's not your biggest story. It's not your best story. Not even close. It's
not even
the
close.
Absolute worst.
So, and you know, Final Wrestling Place talked about this. We talked about this. You can fix the Death Riders. There's a bunch of things you can do starting tomorrow, starting Wednesday. They should have, but starting your next show to fix the Death Riders. But I don't think it's worth it anymore.
It's not.
I think the risk of trying to fix it and it failing is not worth it. It's the highs that you can get aren't going to be the equivalent opposite to the lows that you could get if it doesn't work. You got to walk away.
Yeah, if I'm
drop them down the card, do whatever. But
if I'm Tony, I would see that main event and I go, it ain't working. It's done. Like it hasn't been working.
Yeah.
We gave you this main event to try to be like, okay, like maybe we can make this really happen. Right. It fell flat on its face. And it's done. I will give you the month to Dynasty. We're taking that belt off.
It wasn't even
whatever
a good enough match if the other matches existed. You know, like because you always say, you know, if it didn't have to follow these great matches, it was still really good. It doesn't even have that. It was just bad.
It's just heatless. Like
and. So you just said what I thought was you said if I'm Tony and I watch and I see that at the end of that pay-per-view, I'm like, I'm giving you guys the month and that's it. Instead, which is kind of what Tony did, but transitioning to Dynamite, what he actually did was we're going to run this back on TV, but with a street fight stipulation.
I just don't get it, dude.
Why are people going to fucking care?
Yeah. Well, let's get into Dynamite then. Dynamite starts with like Omega in the ring. You know, nice little promo, whatever. When he came out, and then when the Ops came out, I go, I know what type of show this is.
Yeah.
I go, anybody that worked the paper, they ain't working tonight. Right. I go, promos are fine, but
rightfully so.
Of course, a lot of people busted their fucking ass.
Right, absolutely.
Give them,
you can't, and like, Tony can't work because their head she'll bleed out. Ospreay, same thing.
Yeah.
So like, we got them, but like they can't work. That's
let them just You know, some of the talent that...
If I was TK, I would have made Edge work twice.
Some of the talent that ends up getting showcased, so I said, this is good. Like, this was
still a good Dynamite.
Yeah.
I still liked it.
It was an okay Dynamite. Yeah. Like, the Ops squash whoever, I don't care.
Vinny Pacifico was there.
Sure.
Yeah.
First thing I have written down is, like, Will Hobbs and Hologram against Brian Cage and Dralistico.
Yeah.
Because Harley Graham's there. I love Harley Graham.
The funniest thing, because we already talked about which happened before this, the Ricochet promo, which I thought was fantastic. Yeah. But they announced the Mox and Edge street fight.
Oh, I know.
But the funniest thing to me is they say next week, Mox versus Edge in a street fight, and the winner gets to face Swerve at Dynasty.
They did the same thing with Takeshita with the international title.
Right.
And it's Takeshita versus OC, the winner gets to face Omega.
Right.
Revolution.
Your champions don't get to face anyone.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like how they do that.
I love Swerve.
Love him. I think he's
Swerve
the guy.
Gets to face the champion.
Yep, I agree.
Do not downplay your title holders like that. I'm defending it after a stinker of a fucking match.
Yeah.
But the words fucking matter. Your champion does not get fighting for the right to fight someone who isn't champion. That diminishes the fucking title.
What you do, have your fucking street fight. Yep. Don't announce Swerve.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever, end of the street fight next week.
Right.
Swerve comes out. Boom, there's your graphic for the rematch at Dynasty. That's it.
Right. Exactly.
That's all you have to do.
Swerve cuts a promo, says, I want the winner. We'll see what TK says. And that's it.
That's it.
I'm
the number one contender.
Yeah.
Dynasty, point to the fucking sign, whatever.
Right.
Like, that's all you have to do.
Right.
I agree. I don't like how they do it. Drives me fucking
Do not
nuts.
diminish your champions like that. Even if they're diminishing themselves in their shitty wrestling, don't diminish your champion like that.
So this match, Dralistico again lost every fucking point he had. Him and Hobbs had negative chemistry.
Cage looked great tossing a hologram around.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on there, but it was bad.
Yeah, no.
But man, I love Will Hobbs. He's
Will
awesome.
Hobbs is great.
I need Will Hobbs.
That's a dude that should be up at the main event too. He's there. He is a few weeks of significant booking away because they keep cooling him off.
He's a guy where it's like, okay, you can put him in that like Brody tier. If you want to drop the Death Riders down, have him fighting against them too, because he's a credible threat. Next I have Toni Storm cutting her promo. She's the best, dude.
Incredible.
She's the actual best.
Right. No nights off because she's a fucking champion.
Still has glass in her ass.
Stitches in my head, glass in my ass, and this tramp is still the champ.
She's the fucking best.
Absolutely incredible.
But we have a new challenger for her.
Well, hold on really quick. You'll never hear me meow because I'm no pussy.
Yeah.
She said this on television. And put your keys in the bowl and let's get this orgy started.
Yeah. All right, ladies, put your keys in the bowl and let's get this orgy started.
Insane.
She's the best.
Best promos, best matches. It's another one where it's like, all right, well, what is she going to do to follow this one up?
Yeah.
She comes out and fucking crushes it, man.
She's the best.
Crushes it.
The actual best.
Yes. And then, like you said.
Yeah, it gets laid out by Megan Bayne.
Yes.
Which was kind of like okay.
You know?
Interesting.
So,
if there wasn't more going on with Megan Bayne later in the show.
Yeah.
And this is like okay, do we just not have the bodies here? Or what's happening?
We've talked about the division's a little thin. So there's two things working, depending on how you're looking at it, for or against AEW right now. Their next pay-per-view's in a month.
Less than a month.
Normally they're spread out. They only do, normally you get a month and a half or whatever.
This one you get 4 weeks.
So you got to get a challenger in there. Bane's not beating Toni Storm.
Shouldn't.
But who else in that division hasn't wrestled Toni Storm? You know what I mean?
Which is also true.
Bane's got the look. Physically, you don't need to build a story because physically she looks intimidating over Toni Storm. But it is weird that they double use her on the show.
She's just fighting everybody.
Right. But that's also fine. I'm
fine with that.
Make her a heel that's a legitimate threat to the entire division instead of your world champion who has a group of bad guys who only fights one guy for the past 3 months.
Not wrong.
He wants to take the company back by fighting one guy. The other thing we didn't say about the fucking main event on that pay-per-view is that Moxley's whole fucking theory, his whole MO, is that this company has lost its way. It's not the fucking company that it was anymore, and I need to bring it back. Okay, Mox, well, you did, because that whole card was different than anybody else can fucking deliver.
Sure was.
And your match is the one that fucking stinks. So your whole reason for existing, your whole thesis is dead in the fucking water, pal. So
yeah, that's not good.
But,
anyway. So next match we have is the First round match in the international
How
title
do
tournament.
you feel about this tournament? Them doing another tournament?
I'm fine with it.
Me too. I like tournaments.
I like tournaments.
I don't
I'm
give a shit.
totally fine with tournaments.
How do you feel about the 4-way?
That's where I'm allowed a little. I don't love that.
Yeah. And again, it's because they only have a few weeks to get through the pay-per-view.
That's going to be done next week, and then you're going to have 2 weeks to build.
Right, to build the match.
Yeah, which it's like I don't love that, but I understand it.
So do we? All right, we'll talk about the end. So let's go ahead.
The Beast Mortos
versus X,
the wild card.
Yeah,
which ends up predictably
Blackjack Marciano.
Yeah, being Speedball Mike Bailey.
Yes, the one of the worst kept secrets.
Yeah, Speedball gets a real good reaction.
Fucking nerd.
So I've been thinking about this today. Like, he's not my cup of tea.
He's a draw,
not
man.
your cup of tea.
People love him.
You had him as one of your best matches last year.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, like
absolutely.
So
did.
it's like
100%.
There's something there.
Yeah,
you know.
But
it's like it's not my guy.
I don't have a problem with his in-ring work outside of the extra bullshit he doesn't need to do.
But that seems like he got away from that kick though.
Well, because he used it last night to look good as shit for the finish because it wasn't in the corner.
It looked awesome.
Yeah, because he actually hit somebody with it.
Yeah, it looked really good.
And because he usually does that all the way across the ring, and it looks stupid. I hate that fucking kick. Because one, it looks dumb, and two, he's not the master of the 540.
That's the Japanese.
That's the Japanese fuck style John Zandig. But yeah, the bootleg Brass Monkey was really funny.
Yeah,
I get it. The Beastie Boys licensing probably a lot.
I'm sure,
but you did enough. People knew it was coming out, and knew it was coming out anyway.
Yeah.
But I don't have Speedball is a perfectly above average in-ring professional wrestler.
Yeah, that's kind of like.
I just think he does too many things that make his shit look less believable, and that's what hurts me. The extra jump before Adam Cole's Panama Sunrise breaks my heart because it makes no sense.
Yeah.
The extra spins in his kicks doesn't actually add anything. I know it's pro wrestling and everybody does that shit. It was also one of the reasons why I wasn't super high on Will Ospreay as a junior because he did a lot of that shit too. Yeah. But he's eliminated a lot of that shit.
He sure did.
So like, and the other side of it is like he's a dork, and that's fine. I'm a giant fucking nerd. Mm-hmm. It's fine. But like when I see him come out, I'm like, you're too cute. You're not going to beat this guy. Like, you don't look like a legitimate physical threat, even though you're a martial artist. You look like a dweeb a little bit.
I hate him, like, punching the hands, like, doing the karate kick to the hands of the fans. Like, it looks lame.
It's just too cheeseball for me. Cheeseball Mike Bailey.
All right, Cornette.
But he's fine in the ring. The match is fine. It was good.
Best match on the show, I think.
Yeah.
I think so.
I feel bad for Mortos because Mortos should be being given more.
I do agree with that.
And I understand why you have Speedball debut here because you're going to get this good of a match. But we were promised a start for Mortos like 6 fucking times.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's the availability of Roosh that holds it off or whatever.
That seems to be a lot of like...
But like Mortos is a guy that gets great reactions, is physically intimidating.
Mortos is great.
Like is a guy who always looks fucking great. Like everybody was really sad that they lost Penta. And Penta was a talented fucking dude. You can watch Main Event and see. But like Mortos could very easily fill that role.
Yeah. So who, in your opinion, so winner of this tournament faces Kenny Omega.
Yes.
Do you have Speedball win this tournament?
So I was going to ask you this at the end when we find out who one of the other competitor is.
Man, I really am starting to think he wins it.
So, yeah. So who else who are the other two? What are their 2 matches?
So, Mark Davis, is it Mark Davis versus Mark Briscoe?
Okay, I know. It's Briscoe, Davis, Shibata.
Or is it Shibata, Briscoe? I don't know.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, just some more to think about.
Because there's 4 other people in it. So it's Shibata,
Davis,
Mark Davis,
Briscoe,
and who?
I can't remember the other guy.
There is somebody else. Well, that's not great.
Well, hold on.
Is it like Commander or somebody?
No.
But that it doesn't matter because that being said, in my mind, knowing AEW and the way AEW books things, when you win the international title, you wrestle Orange Cassidy. Because that's his belt. When you win the Never Open title, you wrestle Tomohiro Ishii. as one of your first defenses.
Yeah.
And they've sort of set OC up that way too. They talk about him. They talk about his streak. They talk about how long he held that title. I think they're going to want to give us Orange Cassidy versus Kenny Omega. That being said, I would not be surprised in the least if Speedball wins. Because they got a shiny new toy who is one of the most over acts in the world, who was one of TNA's biggest stars, if not the best guy TNA had, really. Sit down, Moose. So I could see it happening.
It's this fucking tournament. I can't find it anywhere. I'm looking. Go ahead. You're...
But so I could see it happening, but I still think it's going to be OC because they typically book OC against the international title for the first time out round.
So you do think it's going to be OC?
I do.
Oh man, I don't know.
Because here's the thing: making it a 4-way, the only person that is going to lose anything is the dude that's going to take the fucking pin, right? Because you could have Speedball not win it and still save him. Remember when they did that gauntlet when Ospreay first showed up and Ospreay didn't win it or whatever? Yeah.
Oh, it's Shibata Ricochet.
Oh, okay, Shibata. Ooh, so Ricochet.
Ricochet's in this too. Oh boy,
that throws a wrench.
So it's
going to be
Davis versus Mark Briscoe.
So it's going to be Briscoe,
Shibata versus Ricochet.
It's going to be Briscoe, OC, Ricochet, and Speedball.
Yeah, I can see that.
And Briscoe takes the fall
unless Mark Davis is in there to throw people around. Who knows?
To add another heel, that could be. Maybe because they might not. They can either have him in there or they can want like the conglomeration team up.
See, like I look at like
it's good to have this problem.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have. I look at like I can make a case for OC. Mm-hmm. I can make a case for Ricochet.
Yep.
I can make a case for Speedball.
Yeah. So, and the thing is those three guys aren't taking this pin. It's like Mark Briscoe's taking the pin.
Yeah, like you can if you do Speedball, it's like imagine him and Omega going 25 minutes at Dynasty.
Yeah.
And Omega like just pulling it out, like you immediately make you make Speedball to the fans' eyes. I think like for shit, this guy can hang.
There's
with him,
there's a huge draw to that.
Yeah.
But also, there's a huge Ricochet. Like you got to keep him hot too.
Absolutely do.
And nobody's going to complain about OC Omega. I think it's about as much of a dream match as you have for AEW right now. And
I agree.
I think they want to get them all out of the way.
Yeah.
But this isn't. Sorry, Mark. Like Briscoe's the only one that's like, nah, you ain't happening, pal.
Yeah.
And he doesn't need to. He's still the fucking best. Yeah. But
well, this leads to our first question this week.
Oh, geez. Okay.
From Mr. Ed.
Oh, good. I thought you were going to say a different name.
No. Why do we keep calling him Mr. Ed?
Yeah, you did that last week.
I'm sorry, Ed. You're on a horse.
이제 이번 주에 에드 코드 질문입니다.
All right. So, Ed says, hey there, friends and allies, comrades even.
Hi, Ed.
I have a question that will be in 2 parts.
Okay. This week only, Ed.
Ed says, number 1, with Speedball debuting in AEW, how would you both bring in Josh Alexander?
Fuck.
So we talked about this a couple weeks ago where it was like, I'm still hanging on to some Death Rider, please do something.
Right.
Like, maybe brought him in as a member of the Death Riders.
I think if you do that, you have to pick somebody for him to murder for real.
Yeah.
And him and Mox have to do an actual murder. Like none of this. No, don't Pillmanite. Like a murder. Like leave somebody.
Ain't no
fucking
such thing
dead.
as halfway crooks. Yeah.
Pick somebody that you can that has some pull, some reaction from the crowd that you think you can afford to leave off of TV for a month or two and have them murder them if you're going to do it that way.
I think you need to do that, and I think he needs to be a heel.
Yeah, bad guy.
Do not bring him in as a babyface. He works way better as a heel.
Right. And I
think I agree with that. And I think the AEW fans, if they bring him in as a face, they're going to turn on him quick.
Yep.
Like they did Ricochet.
Right. I think you change his look. I like you just like Speedball. It's the right call, but you just brought in TNA Speedball, right? That's who he is. Because it's Speedball. Because TNA is just an indie anyway, really. So
Not according to Brian.
Number
Myers,
2 company in the world, but whatever. It's crazy that Speedball would leave the number 2 company in the world to go to the number 3 company in the world, but whatever. Same thing with Josh Alexander. Weird that a former champion of the number 2 company doesn't go to the number 1 company. No, he goes to the number 3 company, or number 4 if you count NXT separate, but whatever.
That's true.
But so I would completely change his look to no headgear, have him show up in a suit or something, like something different, and change his gear.
Yeah, no, like that, like high cut singlet. Wrestling like Kurt Angle gear.
Yeah,
you know,
do something.
If he wants to wear a singlet,
right,
wrestling like that.
Yeah,
all right,
but like a murderer. Like I want him to look like a like
make an impact.
As I want him to be as serious of a suplex monster as Gary Albright.
Oh, that's so hard to do.
No words, just throwing people.
Yeah. Ed's second part.
Yes, Ed.
This weekend, I'm going to see one of my favorite wrestlers, Casanova Valentine.
Of course he is.
In a goddamn dog collar match. I love dog collar matches. This shit should be wild. What's your favorite dog collar match? Is this a way to get Brett to gush about Phil? Maybe. Maybe it is.
We've talked about, we might have even had this question before on the show, but we've talked about dog collar matches, and I have the boring standard answer. Valentine Piper.
I mean, I think it's Punk MJF.
That's fine. There you go.
That match just...
It's great.
The fucking... Again, it was like, the storyline was incredible.
Well, and every
Punk
time
come
we talk
out to
about
AFI.
It's really hard to do.
Dog collar matches are
really
so
hard to
tough.
do.
Was it Brody and Cody that had a dog collar match?
Yeah.
Like, that was real fucking good. But yeah, I was just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
MJF Punk to me was like
modern era. That's the best dog collar match
by far.
Yeah,
because like WWE doesn't really do dog collar matches anymore.
No.
Yeah, of course, Piper Valentine. It's classic for what it is. You know,
I always default to that because of the way my brain works. Like we've talked about this all the time. Like when I listen to Black Sabbath, I try and put myself in the mindset of a person that like. What was popular then, and I'm putting on Black Sabbath.
Sure.
Black Sabbath's very mild if you compare it to the metal bands of today. But when they came out, you're like, wait, what the fuck is going on? And that's like the dog collar match, the Piper Valentine, like that. They didn't do that shit. No. So that is why I put it above everything else. Yeah. But modern era, which I'm saying like the last 35 years, it's Punk MJF.
So I just looked up a quick list.
Yeah.
I don't know all of them on here to be honest. And I know this will be Joe's answer. Pitbulls versus Raven and Stevie.
It's great.
From Gangsta's Paradise, September
Absolutely
95.
Great.
I don't know what this one is, so I'm just going to skip it.
Yeah.
Junkyard Dog Butch Reed from Mid-South, November 83.
Never seen it.
I'm going to watch
Bet it's good.
Brody versus Cody.
Uh-huh.
Punk Raven from Ring of Honor.
Right. That's a great one.
That's a fucking great one.
Punk's in the...
Dude.
That's better than the Pitbulls one, too. So Punk's the modern era king of the dog collar match? Is that what we're learning?
Buzz Sawyer versus Jim Duggan.
It makes sense because his best friend bites people.
Oh, that's true.
What would you say, Duggan?
Duggan and Buzz Sawyer from Mid-South 85. And then number one,
I know, I've seen that one. I've seen the pictures of Buzz.
Piper Valentine from Starrcade 83. Yeah. Wow, they don't even have Punk MJF on that list.
When was the list made, though?
2022.
When was that match?
Like 2020, 2021.
Was it that long ago?
Yeah, dude. That was Revolution like 3 years ago.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, so that's fucking crazy.
Hold on, leave that date up. Let's do this. Let's see. Revolution 2022.
Yeah.
So when was
that? Was December 2022 this list was made.
Oh, it was the end of 2022 that list was made?
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
Get the fuck out of here then.
That's insane.
I thought if it was like we were leading into the dog collar match this week, here's the best ones ever. That's wild.
I'll tell you what, another one that wasn't even on that list as well, because it might have been the timing wise. FTR Briscoes.
Oh, yeah, it was great.
That was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of fun.
Because that was in their streak of like all-timer three. Like
they had the three.
Yeah. All right, that list is bullshit.
Yeah, I don't like that list. But Yeah, Ed, thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Thanks, Ed.
Have fun at that wrestling show. Let us know how it goes. Is it 880? I assume you're going to?
And I know American had a show this week, so what are we doing? Let's get that rolling, buddy.
Yeah, Ed.
I don't know that I want to talk about a monkey for an hour.
All right.
Might have to really stretch out that Pokemon pack you're going to open at the start of the show.
All right. Next thing I have here from Dynamite.
Yes.
The Christian segment where Nick Wayne steps up to him.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's definitely the beginning of a turn.
Yeah. I don't know that I care about Nick Wayne in that way.
Me neither, but it was
the patriarchy's over.
Yeah.
So and I don't mean over as in yay. I mean finished.
Yeah.
Dunzoed.
Yeah. They're going to break up now.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Kip Sabian's going to go to NXT, I heard.
Oh, God. And I wonder if this is going to lead back to Luchasaurus coming back. If he's ready, because he was at that one convention. He looked good, man.
Yeah.
So
you know what Tony Khan hasn't done that's really smart? Try and shoehorn Jungle Boy into anything that's going on right now.
Yeah, leave him away.
It's really interesting that people out there miss the Young Bucks and
who
people online talk about it all the time.
That's crazy,
right? Because how what are they doing? Fit them into these shows and and improve them.
They bring the quality down.
Fit a Young Bucks match into that pay-per-view and tell me it makes the pay-per-view better.
Nope, not at all.
Right.
Cool.
Same thing with Jack Perry.
Cool. Have them against the Hurt Syndicate and have them their fucking shit broken.
I mean, I wouldn't mind that. Just watching Hurt Syndicate beat the shit.
Yeah, that's
out
what
of
I want though. I want them to die.
Yes.
MJF comes out.
Yes, he was there earlier he wasn't there earlier. Oh, never mind. This was MVP comes out in this, and they were earlier where he gave the Hurt Syndicate the night off.
Yeah, and then they show the clip from when I don't know who went to go interview MJF backstage at the pay-per-view after he lost, and they open the door of his locker room and he's looking in the mirror, and what does he say? He's like, "Why don't they love me?"
Yeah,
just because that's his thing with the crowd.
Right, he's starting to crack, and they're
punches a hole through
the old turn eventually.
Yeah. But MVP comes out,
and he's like, "Get out of here!" Yeah,
MVP comes out, and he's like. They get real close, and then they just start laughing and hugging. Gives a little nice backstory about them, including the Bad Brain shout out, which made me very happy. But then he's
friend of the show, MVP,
friend of the show officially. But then MVP says, he goes, "Why are you out here bitching and moaning? You lost, you lost clean. There's no shenanigans.
Right.
You lost. You're not the better man."
Yeah.
And he's just saying, why are you being a bitch, basically? He's like, why are you beating people up? Why aren't you hitting people? Why aren't you hurting people?
Right.
And says, I think it's time for you to get back on track, and goes to hand the card. And Max goes, I don't need your shit. You know, basically, I don't need this. You know, I know who the fuck I am. And MVP again just goes, no, you don't. And he goes, I really think you and I need to talk. And he leaves the card with him. And I was like, okay. Again, another wrinkle in what MJF's been doing, because MJF's been fucking killing it, dude. He has been killing it.
That contract must be up soon.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Putting on his best work right before his contract comes up. He's not an idiot.
He's locked in, trust me. But again, it was another.
Yeah.
Okay. This is kind of cool.
Do you want to see him in the Hurt Syndicate?
I don't know where it's going to lead. I don't know if he's going to be in the Hurt Syndicate.
Yeah.
Or MVP is just going to have him separate.
Yeah.
I'm going to be in your ear. You know, I'll be your advisor. You can't join these guys. You know,
right.
Because these are the real deal motherfuckers.
They don't make lifts big enough, Max.
No, yeah. But it's
coming out on stilts.
I got to get that killer back in there, you know?
Right.
Which I think that'd be a good story.
It would be interesting, though, and this just popped in my brain, because in the earlier Hurt Syndicate thing, they were day off guys, and there was no gym, no nothing, go chill on the beach. And they were like, where are we going to go? And Bobby was like, well, there's a Gold Gym.
There's a Gold's Gym,
And then, when they come to the agreement, Shelton's still we're going to work out first, though, just so you know. So what if they were he doesn't join the Hurt Syndicate, but what if they do training montages where he has Max in the gym with Shelton and Bobby?
Just get his ass beat
just trying to keep up with them, and they're just out fucking working him and out lifting him.
Just breaking him.
So in my mind... I don't know if you've seen this movie. I know some people in wrestling haven't, but Rocky III, where where Paulo takes Rocky to the black gym.
Yep.
And they all look at him and they're like, what the fuck are you doing?
Let's run it back.
And then
right.
they teach him that because like they're like, you're a good fighter, but you're not going to be able to beat Clubber. You're not going to be able to beat a black fighter because you don't have the rhythm. Yep. You don't have the footwork. So he's teaching Rocky footwork. And then they run on the beach in the most homoerotic, amazing thing ever when they embrace each other.
Absolutely.
Like, what if they do that, but like from a heel perspective, and like they take MJF to the black gym and give him swagger,
or they just keep like. But break him down, break him down.
Yes.
And then finally, like, all right, now we're going to build.
Yeah. And then at the end, he outruns Bobby Lashley on the beach, and then they all just
jump and hug and fuck
in tiny little short shorts in the water.
Cool. Max Caster,
yes,
dude, he's been very enjoyable with these.
He's been great. Yeah. It completely subverts my expectations for this because.
What happened to Bowens?
Right, but I was like, oh, he's gonna be winning these, and then Bowens is gonna come out and beat his ass.
Yeah, or it's like just be local scrubs that he keeps beating.
I think Bowens mentioned something about acting. I think he got a role or something, somewhere. So maybe that's it. I don't know if I might be not here. I mean,
guys just go do whatever the fuck they want.
I misheard that or something, but I don't know why he's not on TV. But Max is killing it with this.
He's been great.
Shitty heel kind of stuff.
Because Takeda comes out and fucking murders him.
Sure does. Oh man, when Tate comes out, I'm like, oh no.
Yeah. And that crowd pops for him too. It was like, oh, well, is there a baby face right there?
And it's good too because it's like Tony Khan realizing like, all right, this guy lost the title, but I can't cool him off.
Absolutely.
So let's keep. He did it with Switch when Switch answered one of these. Like these guys can still do this and look really strong.
Yeah. Willow faces Penelope Ford.
Yes.
Willow wins. Good for Willow.
Oh, so incredibly underused.
Yeah, I think, is it this weekend she's going to Japan to face Miyu Watanabe?
Is that this weekend?
It might be.
But like, they teased that thing with her and Marina, and she helped a little bit, but now that's gone. Like, just Willow is so underused for how good of a wrestler she is and the reaction she gets on TV.
Somebody needs to teach the ladies in AEW
how to swing chairs?
You can swing a chair.
Well, you just keep going on Busted Open Radio and they'll tell you.
Like, what the fuck was that last night? It looked terrible again.
You know what they got to switch to? And I don't think American audiences are going to take to these, but the Japanese deathmatch chairs where the bottoms pop out of when you hit.
I can get down.
Switch to those.
For in certain cases.
Because there's no fear in swinging that thing too hard because it snaps away.
Yeah.
Because like
it's embarrassing.
They get the yips.
It's embarrassing.
Swinging these things lighter than Ben Simmons shooting a free throw.
Statlander makes the save, but then Megan Bayne lays her the fuck out.
Yes.
Megan Bayne hitting her finisher actually looked really good last night. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, she's just taking out everybody, I guess. Okay.
It's fine.
Sure.
She's a heel. She hates everybody. I guess it works.
Down with that. Oh, and then, I forgot Mercedes Moné, Billy Starks next week.
Listen, if Mercedes pulls this one off.
GOAT!
But it's a stepping stone to Athena.
Hopefully, dude. I want Mercedes to beat the shit out of her post-match and then Athena hit. Oh, my God. Could you imagine?
It is time.
Wow. Oh, man. That'd be sick if we got Mercedes Athena at the pay-per-view.
Yes.
Next, I have Will Ospreay comes out.
That fucking liar. He did a thing that I've never done.
What?
Lied to his wife. I, too, have never lied to his wife.
Okay, I was going to say.
I've never lied to his wife, God damn it.
It was a cute little promo.
Yeah.
It was, again, and I mentioned it before, like, it was fun. Mm-hmm. He's having fun,
Yeah.
Again, very endearing.
And he puts Mox on notice.
Yeah, well, but that was the end where he's like,
yeah,
all right, let's get serious. I want this championship belt.
Yes.
I want to carry it. I can't think of a better place to do it. The crowd's chanting all in. He looks at the sign. Just goes, I'm going to enter the Owen. Yeah. I'm going to win it. He goes, and whether it's Cope, great, it'll be first time running with you. Mm-hmm. Swerve, my brother, will run it back.
Right.
Or Moxley. He goes, and he says something, goes, you think you're the king of AEW? Mm-hmm. He goes, but little do you know, I'm an assassin. I was like, good line.
Yep.
Way to end the promo. I fucking love him so much.
With the Owen coming up and this talking about that, couple people sort of aiming at the championship.
That's the goal though, and I like that. Because like Jay White is the same way, like saying like I still want that title.
So does this make sort of Revolution the de facto Rumble into All In's All In being the WrestleMania? Like, kind of seems like this is.
I know All In is like the stadium show and shit, but I think like Marcus might have said, "No, man, Revolution's your number one show."
Yeah.
It's your number one show every year.
Yeah. I mean, I
shit
agree.
happens every year at Revolution.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I can see
it is sort of, it feels like the end of the previous year.
Yeah, I could see that.
You know what I mean? Like after it, because the Tony Mariah stuff ended, but then they started the Swerve stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like they sort of.
I can see where you're going.
It's definitely I guess like it's not a 1-to-1, but like Revolution is definitely they're like the creative peak. Like they get the most parts moving for and after Revolution. Like that's sort of it's the high watermark, but like it's their biggest show, but it's not their mania because like. Revolution leads into bigger things where Mania does kind of feel like more of the end of stuff.
I just feel like, man, they just put on such bangers all pay-per-views are bangers, So it's like it's tough to say like what's your number one.
It's such a big gap because we don't get one in January. Like, you have the New Japan stuff at the beginning of the year, but like it's been a while since we get you know what I mean? Like
a big
you're waiting for a big pay-per-view.
I get that.
So it just Revolutions are fucking great. But anyway,
they really are. MJF and Hangman running into each other backstage.
Yeah.
I thought this was fucking awesome. I loved Hangman just saying, like, you got to accept it. This crowd's never going to love you.
Yeah.
And MJF saying, you have to accept it. You're never going to make them proud.
Right.
It's like, dude, so good.
So good. And we get the tease too, like, that I think was really smart with Switch or they do a Jay White promo.
Yeah.
And he addresses Ospreay's starting for the title, but says, they better keep you away from me like they always have. So there's your little bridge program. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if in Philly we got Swerve or on Ospreay Switch.
I could. Oh my god, I'll lose my mind over that.
And then that's on the way because you can't put Switch back with the Death Rider shit like that. It's dead and buried. He's a casualty of that too, sadly.
Yeah.
But yeah, that and then they do the MJF Hanger thing like. Their story beats, they keep hitting like really well.
These two together, man.
Which is why
unbelievable.
Like where the matches, on the show are mostly good, but like not crazy. Like you said, everybody feels like they have the day off because of the pay-per-view. They do a lot of work, which isn't usually the case on most Dynamites. Like historically, they do a lot of work for the bigger storylines, even though the people don't wrestle on the show.
Yeah. Leads to the main event: Orange Cassidy versus Hechicero.
This had to have been suffered from a time cut because it started so fucking late.
I think so too. Like I wanted it to be more, but it just never hit that.
Right. It was good.
Like Hechicero, I was like, man, he looks awesome.
Like they're both so talented wrestlers, and like OC has perfect hair, and I like a lot of the stuff they did.
Yeah.
But it did feel rushed because like this started at like 9:57 and it was
it had commercials.
Yeah, right. It was like 8 minutes. It it was a huge overrun, so it just felt a little truncated.
I agree. Orange Cassidy gets the win at the end. Speedball comes out, and they just kind of stare at each other down.
Second Speedball thing. I guess.
Get him over though.
So here's what
get him over. What's the last thing you saw going off Dynamite last night?
So here's what I'm going to tell you. If you're going to make me happy, I'm a very particular person. So he comes out after when OC wins, Speedball comes out, and they have the little, hey, we're in this match together. Well, there's 2 other matches and 2 other people. After every one of those matches, Speedball better come out and stare at the person.
How funny that is.
You want to turn me around on this dude? Have him.
All right, I can fuck with that.
If you really want to turn me around on it, have after the next match, Speedball and OC come out to the ramp.
Just stand and just look. All right.
And then for the 4th match,
when's the main event? Everybody comes.
All 3 of them come out and look at the last guy. Let's play this shit up. But I want Speedball to try and intimidate every single winner into the get in their heads.
I'm with that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
And also, no favor hires for Speedball. You can have him. I don't like him. You can have him. No favor hires. You already hired MJF's useless girlfriend.
Wow, what are you, Jeff Jarrett? Jesus Christ.
I didn't say that she is like a fucking streetwalker. She was useless.
I was say you didn't cut a terrible promo in the middle of the ring.
No,
okay.
She's bad at. I think she was the one that walked in on it. No, she wasn't the one that walked in on MJF.
I don't think he would have screamed at his own girlfriend.
That's true. He might have. But Moxley screamed at Renee, so
he's never screamed at Miss Renee.
he did. There was that one promo where he told her to get out of here or whatever.
That was Eddie.
No, the street. No, it's been since Eddie's been gone.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Or when Marina, because he yelled at her when Marina was dragging her away at that.
Well, no, because he said keep her safe.
Well, I guess that's it. Or whatever.
He would never yell at that.
I think he has. But anyway, she's yelled at him what are you doing? Or
that's
whatever.
Okay.
But
he's a bad man.
But yeah, no favor hires for Speedball.
Yeah, leave that alone.
Leave that alone. But that's it.
Well, we have
the end of Dynamite.
That is true. But we do have a question from Timsy.
And now the Tim Taylor question of the week.
All right.
Tim?
So, Tim says, hey, boys. So good to commune with you all at soon-to-be-named Network North for AEW Revolution. What a delight. I wanted to bring to the table a merger of two things that interest us. I was listening to Rhett and Link's Ear Biscuits podcast on the way home from Revolution. One of their callers asked them about things they won't do.
Oh.
So in the scope of pro wrestling, whether it's content-related or merchandise-related or social media-related, what are some things in wrestling that you just won't do as a fan? And Yujiro is already off the board. Love you boys. Keep up the great work. Yeah, this was like a...
So, Tim, great hangs, buddy.
Yeah,
this
sure.
came
I'm so
up
happy
because
you made the trip.
He was the first one here, and we all talk about Good Mythical Morning and Rhett and Link a lot.
I love Rhett.
And Timsy, Michelle and I had a very fun conversation about faith and the lack of it, and how it incorporates into your life. And we had a really nice conversation.
Been here for that.
Well, it was you were late, and that's because Rhett and Link. They talk about that a lot, and Rhett was just on what's his name, Dwight from The Office's podcast,
yeah,
and that was a topic there. So we sort of talked about it as a group of different denominations of lapsed religious people,
of course,
or never at all in some cases, Michelle. But that's an interesting question.
Yeah, what would I do as a fan, like content related, like us as a show? Is there anything we wouldn't do?
I mean, you couldn't pay me to bootlick the WWE like they pay a lot of other podcasts. I ain't taking the zeros for it.
How many zeros are we talking?
Well, all right. So creating generational wealth, sure.
Okay.
But there's very few things I wouldn't do if you were gonna make me and the rest of my family and friends.
Fuck that, baby! I'm cashing a check. Let's see, like merchandise related.
I'll never cover a Saudi show on here.
Yeah, okay, that's I'll never. Yeah, we'll never talk about a Saudi show. I don't agree with it. If you do, it's your own personal preference. Yeah. Me and you, we're very firmly.
I'm good.
Like, sucks. I ain't gonna watch the Rumble next year.
Yep,
not happening.
I'm good.
It's not doing it. Not fucking doing it.
I'll just close my eyes and watch 92.
Yeah, I'll watch 92. Absolutely. Yeah, I won't do that.
Yeah. I would do anything for love, though.
That's true. Merchandise related, I hate buying shirts with curse words on them.
Yeah, I don't like buying shirts with curse
words. Whether
words.
it's like hardcore bands or...
Yeah.
It's just like one of those things like I won't cross that line.
Yeah.
Social media related, I don't... I mean, not that I have any social media presence anyway, but like I don't like going back and forth with people on social media because I don't fucking care about your opinion if we're being truthful,
right? Especially
if it's something I don't agree with. Except I only went back and forth like one time with one fucking guy, because he was talking about Orange Cassidy badly, and I was like, oh yeah, how many times have you seen a sharpshooter thrown in a fucking real fight? Yeah, like, I don't know. Probably like even watch the Saudi shows.
Yeah.
I've never watched one.
Nope.
I just won't do it.
I will go back and forth with people on social media, and at times I've tried to bait people into it to no response because I do get that itch because I did happen to enjoy a part of my life where I went at everybody possible.
Yeah,
in real life and otherwise.
I was there for those days.
I've risked my own health because I say shit in person that maybe I shouldn't have to people.
Fuck that.
But whatever.
Fun.
But in person, one thing that I don't think I'll ever do is stand right at ringside while the match is happening.
And pound on the mat.
I hate it.
Yeah, it's the worst.
I hate it.
It's the lamest shit.
I hate it. I know people do it. I know that we go to LVAC and they allow it, and that's
Hate
fine.
it.
Allow it, whatever you want to do.
Still hate it.
I hate it. For whatever reason, my brain is like, no, there needs to be a separation. Like that ring is for the people who know what they're doing in there.
Yep.
I am not to lay hands on it while there's wrestling happening.
Yeah, no thanks.
But yeah, I don't, and that's really popular in some indies and stuff, and I get it, and some people like the closeness or whatever. It's not for me. No. So you'll never catch me doing that while a match is happening. I'll go up during, when there's no ring or intermission or there's nothing going on, I'll go take my picture or stand next to it or whatever, but not during the matches. I will always stay away.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, probably no Saudi. You ain't gonna hear a Saudi show on this fucking podcast. That is for sure.
No.
But Tim, thank you very much.
And I'll also never give any sort of space on this podcast or my personal life for any fucking white nationalist fucking idiots.
Yeah, I mean, that goes without saying.
So that goes without saying. But that's another thing. People, oh, do you want this fucking guy to come on your show? No, I'm good.
Yeah, goes without saying.
I'm good.
All right, well, let's go to Japan.
Okay.
Because we got to go now.
And we made it.
Took us a little bit longer than I thought it would to get here, but
sometimes
you have an erratic passenger that just won't sit the fuck down.
You have to spin in circles before you get anywhere.
Jesus Christ! All right, so we're in Japan. We got a couple of different things.
Couple two tree.
We'll start in New Japan.
Yeah, there's something very specific I want to end this show with. So.
Yeah, this is the New Japan Cup.
Yeah,
officially started. Well, night one was supposed to start, but the show got canceled because the fucking ring post was broken.
It snapped. Yeah,
it was crazy. I don't know how it snapped. I don't know if somebody was like warming up and it snapped or what.
The rings that I've been around in my life, and I would assume lower quality than the ones they use in New Japan. I don't know how the fuck you would snap one of those, but they pulled it off.
It resulted in fun, like, hey, everybody, we're going to go out in the crowd and take pictures, and Tanahashi's going to host a talk show, and ELP's going to kiss wrestlers. Mm-hmm. At one point, he was on commentary, and he's like, fuck, we still got 45 minutes of content we got to fill? God damn it. He goes, shit, we're on a beamer tonight. Oh, we have to fill out shit. So that was very funny.
Yeah.
Tenzan was Mongolian chopping Walker Stewart.
Nice.
Yeah. Tanahashi was like shoot wrestling with fans. It was fucking weird.
Did they give people their money back too, or like honor the tickets for the real night one?
Gave you your money back. They tried to fit some people in for night two if you were coming like the next night, because it would have been night one anyway.
Oh, okay.
So people already had tickets though for that date for night two. So
yeah.
I don't know how they did.
Oh, so they shifted everything down. They didn't just redo it night one.
Yeah. Well, they ended up. Yeah. So officially, night one of the tournament was what we watched one match from.
Yeah.
Gabe Kidd versus Red Narita.
Yes.
I have three things from this match.
Okay.
Too much House of Torture.
Way too much. It was really good when they got involved. I backed off. I was like, I'm good here.
I thought it was like a good brawl all throughout the crowd and stuff. Mm-hmm. Jesus Christ, Gabe Kidd is insanely over in Korakuen.
Yeah, huge.
That was like
Japan loves a madman.
Japan loves him. Mm-hmm. I'm saying. Unbelievable.
He's a big star.
That crowd is on the rise. They have embraced him fully.
Yeah.
Like, it was crazy. Like, he would just look at the crowd and they would go nuts. Yeah. It was fucking crazy. But I thought, like, this was one of Ren Narita's better matches.
Yeah, I mean, he takes a beating for most of it.
The House of Torture.
All the House of Torture shit sucks, man.
Kills me.
It's the worst thing going.
Yeah, it's not fun.
It's so funny because not only is it the worst thing going, I also think that it's an improvement if the Death Riders were to start doing stuff like this.
Yeah. You're not wrong, honestly. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
That was the only one match you watched from the Cup, right?
Yeah, my favorite thing in this whole match is two things. I like when in the beginning when Ren tries to jump Gabe Kidd in the entryway and Gabe just boots him in the face.
Oh, it was so cool.
And then like 5 minutes later, before all the other House of Torture shit, Show comes out. They try to sneak up on him, and Gabe runs him out of the fucking building.
Yeah.
That was good. And I was like, oh, cool, House of Torture won't come out. And then there's a fucking 7-minute House of Torture
They
section.
made Gabe just look like an ultimate badass.
Yeah,
though. Like,
for sure.
God damn, he's so over. I fucking love him.
Very over. That was all I watched from New Japan this week.
Okay.
So.
I watched 2 other matches from the tournament. First round, night 2, I did watch Joe Maloney versus Tomohiro Ishii.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first match I watched of Maloney's as being a heavyweight.
Oh, okay.
Listen,
The
match is good.
Yeah.
He looks real good.
Mm-hmm.
Tomohiro Ishii is the standard.
Right.
This is the litmus test, basically.
Right.
Can you hang with Ishii and not look like an idiot? And he did.
Yeah.
I love that he does use the driller killer, the Gonzo bomb. He murdered Ishii with it.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the size that Maloney has put on. I wish he kept his hair long, but whatever.
Yeah, I don't know why he cut his hair.
We'll see what's going on if he can hang or if he stays sort of lower. You know, like he could be like late stage Makabe, or he could be prime Makabe.
Yeah,
you know, like I don't know where on that spectrum.
He looked good though,
fit,
man.
So,
he looked real good.
Yeah, I mean, build wise, he put on the weight and he looks great. Chicken and rice in it.
Yeah. I did watch one match from the second round.
Okay.
Zack Sabre Jr. versus Roihei Oiwa.
Yeah.
TMDK collides. I thought Oiwa looked great during this match.
Driller Ishii was a cup match?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was in the first round.
So
match.
Driller went on?
Driller moved on. Oiwa looked awesome, I thought. He hung with Zack.
That's cool.
Zack gave him a ton. There was a part of the match where Oiwa goes to Irish whip Zack by his left arm. Mm-hmm. So he goes to Irish whip. When Zack gets to the other side, like he passes Oiwa. Oiwa held onto the arm and snapped his arm down, and Sabre face planted.
Nice.
Sabre didn't use that arm the rest of the match.
Oh yeah,
he sold it like
Sabre
a motherfucker, dude.
Sabre does everything he can to get the other dudes in his stable
those
over.
Are his boys.
Yeah,
he
looks out for those kids, just like how Ospreay did it for ELP on the way out, and New Japan didn't do anything with that. But
yeah, Oiwa does not win. Zack wins.
Okay.
So Zack's moving on.
Yeah.
I saw some other results from the card.
Yeah.
But
Bad Luck Fale was in this tournament. I don't know why anybody gives a shit.
Yeah, not good.
Yeah.
We'll see what the finals end up being, and eventually I'll watch them, I'm sure.
Yeah.
We'll see though. What did you want to cover next? What show?
Suri. We're going to do Suri-isms.
Okay.
I want to end on a very specific thing.
Okay. So we watched one match from Suri-ism Chapter 7.
Yes.
These are Suri produce shows. If you don't know Suri, number 1, stop living under a fucking rock.
Suri, you don't know nothing.
Number 2, it was Soray.
Yeah.
In NXT, where she was a moon girl or whatever the fuck it was.
Yes.
It's Suri versus Siri as the main event. 30-minute draw this goes.
Yes. No commentary.
No,
multiple
cameras.
Multiple cameras, yeah, that's true.
Cameras.
Yeah.
It wasn't completely Ed.
Marigold.
This would have been Ed's favorite match of all time.
Marigold, the fucking Marigold matches.
Oh, God. Oh, boy. That company's falling apart.
Dude, didn't Rossi come out and be like, we don't have the talent?
Yeah, basically he's like, other than like Utami and Nene, we have nobody.
Yeah, you're right.
I want to be like,
Yeah, Bozilla's going to get that. He knows Bozilla's going to be seen in Vegas and not be allowed back on a plane.
Well, that's what I said. When she shows up on NXT and Rossi fumble chance happens, you're going to fucking...
NXT. She's...
yeah. It's upsetting.
She's going to get some, like, stupid name, like Jenny Nitro, and it's going to be on Evolve.
Stop it, you. All right. So I watched this match on... I don't know, Monday or Tuesday, whenever it was made available to
Yes. It was on my list before it was made available on the internet. I was like, we're watching these Suri Proto shows are always the fucking best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'm very curious because I want to know your thoughts because I know what I feel about this.
Of course you do. That's good. I'm glad.
Yeah, like because I don't know
if you knew what I thought and I knew what you thought, that'd be really fuck everything up.
You might break my heart though. So that's why.
Oh, really?
That's why I'm curious because I want to know what you think.
Breaking your heart in a way maybe I thought this wasn't good. That like maybe Shuri's lost a step and Shuri wasn't the right person.
No.
What do you mean break your heart?
Like, you don't love it as much as I did?
Oh, yeah. Well, this match was awesome.
This
match was awesome. Yeah. No, I loved it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not breaking your heart.
Okay, because I literally put I'm blown the fuck away.
It was really good. Yeah, yeah. It didn't make my match of the year list.
Oh, really?
Nah,
oh,
yeah.
Dude.
No.
See?
But it's really good.
I loved it. Loved every fucking second of it. It was vicious.
Yeah.
It was brutal. It was intense. There's parts where it felt fucking real.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard hitting. They throw maybe the most headbutts I've seen in a wrestling match. I could take this match, drop it in like 95 All Japan. Yeah, every one of these.
And just go, let it rock.
Every one of these 3 matches does that. Like, she just kills every single one of these shows.
The striking was so fucking brutal. I loved, like, the submission sequences. Like, when Shuri had that heel hook in on the second time, it felt like, or Shuri had it in, it felt like Shuri was, like, just fighting for her life. The shoot headbutts were fucking gnarly. Going 30 minutes at the pace that they went.
That it does start really, really fast.
I was in love with this.
I saw this one to draw before I got to watch the match.
Oh, okay.
Not because of like cage match, but just because I didn't watch it till today.
Okay.
And cause I wasn't feeling well last night, so I went to bed earlier. I was going to watch it. And enough. Actually, no, because so what happened is I do the graphics during my work day today for the show that I put up on YouTube. Yeah. And I was like, oh, well, the Suri did that match. It's going to be fucking great. I'll look it up. Like, I'll just look for an image, and I saw both their arms raised, and I was like, oh, all right. Well, yeah. So, so when I started this match because of that, and I was like, wait, this fast? Like, this quick out the gun? Like, they're gonna go, like, that hard at each other?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I loved it. I fucking loved it, man. Yeah. I loved every second of it. I thought it was a war. Crazy. It's just crazy. Yeah. I loved, oh my God.
Suri, like,
is just,
she might be her and Mayu, like, they're the 2 best women's wrestlers on the planet.
Yeah.
It's really, really hard to be better than them. Suri might be better, like, because Suri has the ability, like, Mayu hits really hard, but Mayu is tiny. And like, not that Suri's a big woman.
When Suri was laying in those forearms, crazy. Like Shuri's chest, I'm like, fuck, I could feel this. Yeah. It's like, I love this, man. I really did. I was in love with it, and I'm so fucking happy that matches like this happen.
Yep. If you want to see it, we'll get it to you because they're hard-ish to find. But
that leads
always
to,
watch the Suriisms.
I have a third question.
Oh,
so this is from friend of ours, Jess.
I knew it.
You did know it, didn't you?
Whenever there's Joshi.
Well, because Jess is a fucking Joshi
She sent it to you because she knows better. Because I'll forget.
Yeah, because you'll forget.
Although I do check now. I just check,
just check incessantly
before we start. When we were like, "You ready?" I was like, "Oh, let me check my phone really quick." It was to check to see if I missed the message.
Well, Jess says, question for the show. Hey, Brett and DJ. I know you both didn't forget, but before everyone else forgets, Suriism 7 was Monday. It was awesome.
Right.
The question is there a U.S.-based talent that could believably emulate the Suriism model of self-produced shows without it being self-congratulatory? It would also have to be for multiple 5-6 match cards and not just a one-off. As always, thank y'all. Love y'all. And then Jess did send me their answer. Said, of course, for once I didn't answer my own question. I'm replying back now before the show is posted, but my answer would probably be Bryan Danielson.
Oh, okay. You're a talent. I was like women's talent. I was like, I don't fucking know.
Yeah. I think that's the right answer.
In a theoretical world where you can be loaned talent from any of the companies. Because that's what they do in Japan. Suri uses just about anybody.
Stardom, Marigold, yeah.
So in a theoretical world, where you're able to get any talent you want in America. Danielson's a hell of an answer.
I think that's
because who has more friends? Who has who has less people that fucking hate him?
Yep.
That's pretty close. I'll tell you, somebody who has tried and is going to start trying again is the Good Brothers.
Lariato Pro.
Yeah. And they get all the stars. Just Incredible, Stang.
Lariato Pro Wrestling.
Johnny Swinger.
The LPWG tag titles.
Yeah. I mean, that's that.
I actually think that's the right.
That's the right answer. Like, I could come up with other things, but like who? That when the right answer is the right answer, there's no point in coming up with other ones, really.
Orange Cassidy, that'd be a fun one.
Yeah, I mean, we never did get that GCW Orange Cassidy show where he was going to fight Minoru Suzuki.
Jesus Christ, I love that so much. I'll go. I think you fucking nailed it.
You nailed it.
I really do.
Because another team that has like a lot of friends would be like FTR, but it would be completely self-congratulatory. So that doesn't really work. Danielson might be the only wrestler great enough, liked enough, and selfless enough. Yeah,
he'd be like, no, I want to lose. I'll lose every match. Like, I'll wrestle in every match and I'll lose every match.
It'd be like Bret Hart trying to convince them to let him put Terry over in Terry Zamorilla retirement while he was WWF champion.
Tried.
It's like, can't we?
Yeah, really? We can't have Terry win? I just think that's the perfect answer. It's not a cop-out. I think it's the right answer.
Everybody else has enemies one way or the other, or is too full of themselves.
Yeah, that's the right fucking answer.
Yeah.
Jess, thank you so much. You are the Joshi head of this show, yes. I feel.
It'd be really cool to see not Tony Storm, but timeless Tony Storm put on a timeless produce show.
That'd be the best.
Yeah. But
all right, well,
that would be like the weird Hyper Masao produce show where it was just a 2-hour long fantasy story.
I still don't believe that happened. that was fucking nutty.
Sure was.
All right, speaking of nutty, last show we have to cover.
Okay.
The Barb Sasaki produce show, Crazy Fest.
Barb Sasaki, that is an appropriate name.
Yes.
Crazy Fest, not Barb. Crazy Fest.
Yeah, Crazy Fest.
Barb Sasaki also might be a great name. I'm assuming it's short for Barbarian.
It should be now.
But Crazy Fest is a great name.
So I watched the whole show.
Yes. I watched the 3 you recommended.
I gave you the 3.
Yes.
Was I right? Was I right in my recommendation?
Yeah, I like silly shit.
All right.
Yeah. I like fun shit. I like all kinds of this was all of this was like right there.
Yeah.
So the first thing we watched was the Bring a Weapon Falls Count Anywhere 6-woman tag team match, which is Hazuki, Mayu Iwatani, and cage match says Saya Iida.
I didn't see Saya
Iida in this match. I saw Captain Stardom versus Azumi, May Sierra, and Starlight Kid, who all came out in Starlight Kid masks. And so Captain Stardom is the first person out, and they have a Buster Sword like Cloud from Final Fantasy VII. SOK comes out and just has a knife.
Just like a butcher's knife.
Azumi has a lightsaber, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
Mayu has loofahs. I think they were.
Yep.
I don't remember what everybody else has. But the opening spot is the SOK's Buster Sword versus, I think, an actual weapon of death, like an actual katana, so it just gets cut in half.
Yeah.
And this match is goofy as shit. It's so much fun.
So I had in my notes, this actually made me smile and have a good time while watching this.
The wrestling's great, but it has a bunch of fun shit in it. My favorite thing in this whole match is the rubber band spot.
Oh, of course.
They have a giant, it's like the resistance band, whatever it is, but it's super stretchy.
They have 3 of them.
Yeah, but they get the longest one and they go up through the crowd.
Dude, when they walk down back through the crowd.
And they each have an end and they pull it tight enough so it goes over the crowd's head as they walk down the steps of Kurkin, right? It was in Kurkin. Yeah. It's hilarious. I'm like, oh, that's so funny. And then whoever it was, I don't remember the 2 that it was, but the one lets go and it snaps and knocks the person over. I was like, what a brilliant, funny spot. Really fun to watch. This was just a fucking blast, man. It's my kind of on these shows, all the produce shows and whatever, because that's sort of what this is. I like the combination of things, and I like this kind of silly, goofy, fun time shit, particularly opposed to what we get in the main event. So,
Koguma in the bear suit was hilarious. I thought, what the fuck is going on?
Right, it's bizarre.
Dude, there was a point where Azumi and Captain Stardom, they're both on the mat, and they go to roll like away from each other.
Yeah,
and they hit each other's heads, and they start laughing, and the ref starts laughing too. It fucking killed me. I don't know why. I'm like, this is it's just so funny.
It was very funny.
It was funny, but the wrestling was really good, man.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. That's super talented, 6 very talented ladies.
Yeah,
so
it was awesome.
A newcomer, Captain Stardom.
Watch out.
Yep.
Next one, co-main.
Yes.
Rina Yamashita versus Suzu Suzuki.
Yes.
Hey, they beat the shit out of each other.
Really quick, because I don't know. Maybe I'm behind on my. It's a TLC match, but it's a death match, kinda. Were those sleigh bells that they dumped out first? They were
yes.
Little metal. They were sleigh bells.
Essentially. Yeah.
Okay, those looked very dangerous.
Yeah.
So the spine buster, Brett.
Yeah. Yes.
On
DJ.
the edge of the table.
Yeah.
That I don't know
how did it make you feel?
Not good.
How'd it make your back feel?
I don't know how you walk away from that. Literally,
you know the answer.
You don't.
Wrestling.
Yeah, wrestling. I guess. But yeah, no, that hurts my back. Real bad.
Oh, that's bad.
My back already hurts. So
that's bad.
Oh, that's bad. But Brett, there's something worse in this match, and I understand it's a TLC match here, and I said it was just a death match because they bring out gusset plates, Brett.
Yes, I did, DJ.
And they put them in their own foreheads.
They sure did.
And they hold the gusset plate. If you've never seen a gusset plate, you're lucky because they're disgusting. And they each take their own gusset plate, hold the sharp end, the bad end, the dangerous end up against the forehead, and just start punching it into their own foreheads.
Yep.
Rena starts bleeding fucking everywhere.
Yep.
And they also go in the arms.
Yeah.
Gusset plates are fucking gross, dude.
Yeah.
They might be my least favorite of all of the
more than like
weapons.
the skewers.
Yeah, skewers don't bother me so much.
All right. Yeah, gusset plates are a little gnarly.
Yeah. Oh, they're gnarly.
Yeah. This was awesome.
This was really good.
Happy to see Suzu working death matches again.
Mm-hmm.
Suzu's an insane person.
She's absolutely crazy.
And she's like 24.
Yeah. This match was a ton of fun. Went harder than I thought it was going to go.
Me too.
And with Rena in there, that's what Rena's been doing. So GCW and all that.
Yeah.
And Rena has the white braids in, and so she's pushing the blood up through it. It just looked cool as shit.
I agree, man.
Yeah. Yeah, real rad. Real fun.
Main event.
This is special, Brett. This is a special one. This is why I wanted to end the show. It's this match right here.
Jun Kasai.
Yep.
Versus El Desperado.
Yeah.
Versus Takeda.
Yeah.
Brother man, brother. This ain't for the weak of heart.
This has been a long episode because there was a pay-per-view. And I'm sorry because I'm not shortening anything. No. We're going to talk about this.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this Desperado wears all white. Because he's a genius. He's a brilliant man.
He is.
And you know that picture, that very famous picture of Mick Foley from the IWA Deathmatch tournament where he's just like candy apple red with blood?
Yep.
Despy does that in this match.
Yeah, so
he gets his entire mask ripped off.
I know this is, a podcast, but
it is.
I saved that picture.
Yeah, right. That's mild. He's in the.
I saved that picture.
Yeah, he's insane in this fucking match.
I saved that picture.
It looks like a horror movie.
Like we talked about, like Tony Storm got her face.
It's insane. That looks like he looks like the uncle from Hellraiser when he gets fucking skinned.
Help me, I'm in hell.
It's terrible. You can't post that on the internet.
No,
it's disgusting.
His teeth.
Like, Michelle would have a heart attack. She would think somebody died.
Oh, I gotta send this to Doug.
Yeah, you do.
Fuck, I
You send
forgot.
this match to Doug.
Yeah. Oh, next time Doug's up,
Yeah.
we got some shit to show him.
So, a lot of funny things happen at the start of this match. Like, the glass not breaking. Despy gets Kurt Angled through a pane of glass. Or gets Shane McMahon, I guess, through a pane of glass. Like, the glass doesn't break on a shotgun drop kick. Then he just gets thrown and it doesn't break. But then he gets the double suplex to go through. There was a pane of glass with roses on it.
Dude, it's a love letter to fucking deathmatch
Sure.
wrestling, man.
Yeah, this... also, Musashi has... Takeda has the longest scissors I've ever seen.
Terrifying.
To which he stabs and cuts. Like, he uses them as scissors proper to cut open somebody's forehead.
Well, he cuts open Despy's mask.
Despy's mask, yeah. And then he cuts open, I think he cuts open Takeda's, Jun Kasai's fucking forehead with them.
Can we talk about Jun Kasai's entrance, by the way?
Yeah.
That crowd goes ballistic for him.
They love him.
Yeah.
He is adored.
Yeah.
And he's a monster.
Yeah.
And I know Jun's been doing that forever.
Yep.
How Takeda's body looks worse than his, it is disgusting.
Yeah.
He looks like he's got, I don't know, fucking mumps.
Dude.
But
El Desperado.
Yeah.
Certified
He's the god of this
insane
shit.
person.
He's the god of this shit, man.
He, like, a couple days before this, he, like, had a banger against Francesco Akira.
Yeah.
And then he goes and says, fuck it, I'm doing this.
He gets fully unmasked. It is disgustingly bloody.
That might be like the bloodiest I've ever seen somebody in
It's
a match.
insane. It's absolutely insane.
It was another one, like, you go down the whole body, he's wearing the white tights. They would turn red.
Everybody bled in this match. Despy was absolutely insane.
It was
absolutely
fucking
insane.
gnarly. The fork board.
The fork board, the glass, the light tube chairs, where it's a chair with like 6 light tubes taped to it. At the end of this match, everybody's just hitting Despy with shit.
Yeah.
And Despy keeps kicking out of it. I'm like, end it. He's been through enough.
Dude, when Despy hits like that somersault suicide dive through the ropes, but like through the tubes and like almost lands on his head.
It's insane.
Oh my God.
Despy just fucking goes for it. He's still
he's IWGP
junior champ. He's doing this shit.
He doesn't give a
He
fuck,
loves doing this
dude.
shit.
Yeah.
Insane. And like, it is absolutely fucking barbaric. And still, Jun Kasai climbs the top rope and puts his goggles on and gets the biggest pop of the night.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely insane.
Like, and I don't know if I was in my feelings a little bit while watching this, but this may be like, it might be the best death match I've ever seen.
It's wrestled really well too, like
That's
for the
the
parts
key.
that are.
Yeah.
Like it definitely has like your hold on, just stand here while I brutalize you
Of
moments.
course.
But like that's
As
part
any
of the,
death
it's
match
part of the
does.
art.
Yeah.
It is absolutely wild.
Like, I like this more than the Jun Kasai Despy death match from 2 years ago when I loved that
was
match.
really good.
I think this one's better.
Yeah.
I really do.
I don't know. I'd have to watch them.
It was just fucking insane from the word go.
Yeah. So, your mileage may vary. It depends on how much you like 3-ways, because 3-ways ultimately, when they're told somebody, I think suffer a little bit when they're like, okay, you just leave and we're going to do it. And then one other guy will leave. And so that happens like this, there's not a ton of 3 guys in the ring at the same time kind of stuff in this, but everybody gets absolutely fucking annihilated.
Yeah.
Really just gross and awesome.
If you are a fan of the death match,
you have to be really a fan of the death
fucking
match.
eyes on this.
Like, if Tony Storm...
This is something I gotta send this to Tiny.
Yeah, if Tony Storm was too much for you, rightfully so, it very much could be, you'll have a heart attack.
That's child's play compared to this.
Yeah, this is bad. This is bad.
But, like, I really think it might be the best death match I've ever seen.
It's like when Tony sits up into the camera and wipes her face and says "fuck," multiply that by 3 guys. Like all 3 of them do that, but Despy does it like double. Yeah.
Fuck, man.
Desperado looks like he's wearing a red mask.
Yeah.
At the end of this match,
I would finish this match and I just kind of sat there, just like sat there collecting my thoughts for a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, Like, what did I just watch?
Yeah, insane stuff.
Oh, it was fucking amazing.
Yeah, really,
and like,
really great.
And yeah, I think it was like Tuesday or Wednesday morning, like where I watched all this stuff or whatever. Yeah. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, I really watched like 4 like all timers over the past 48 hours. Like, this might be the best week of in-ring wrestling I think we've ever covered.
It's pretty crazy
across the board.
Yeah,
it's fucking nuts.
I don't know another pay-per-view that's had 3 5+ star matches on it. Close to 4. It was, but like,
it's just like I'm just crazy. In shock. Like, that. I mean, the stuff in Japan,
right? The surrealism is just really great.
Like, I was just like, I'm sitting there like, I'm in, like, this is incredible.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like wrestling is at like such a good spot.
Plus,
right
Lexus
now.
King defended his title this week.
Sure, I guess. I didn't watch that.
I don't know if he did or
fucking
not.
Shit. But like, man, it's just, I felt so fired up about wrestling this week. Like, like, wow. When this shit hits, dude, there's nothing like it. And this really gave me matches where it's like, yo, this is where the fuck it's at, dude.
Yeah, a lot of stuff from this week going to be talked about at the end of the year.
Yeah, like, legit, yes. Which leads me to ask you, what were your 2 favorite matches from this week?
Death match.
Okay.
In New Japan, well, not in the Barb.
Yeah.
The Barb show, that main event was fucking incredible, man. It was so much fun.
Yep.
Shit. Man. I know that I had my match of the year right now on that list is Ospreay Fletcher.
Yeah.
But like, goddamn, Tony Storm Mariah just delivered on such a fucking level.
Yep.
Like, yeah, Tony and Mariah.
There's no wrong answer.
Yeah, Tony and Mariah. Like, obviously the in-ring is better because with Fletcher and Ospreay, not by much, but it is. But like, just the conclusion, the storytelling, the visuals.
Sure.
Tony and Mariah, incredible.
So I'm happy you said those 2 because I'm going with the other 2 that I thought were 4 of the best matches I've ever seen. For the States, I am going with Ospreay Fletcher.
Yeah.
Because I really felt like I needed a fucking nap
It's
after I watched that.
Yeah.
And I'm going with Sari and Shuri.
Nice. Good.
Just that 30-minute draw, like I didn't expect it, and like it just went hard from the beginning all the way up to 30 minutes. You know, like Sari is just on top of the fucking world right now. Dude.
Absolutely.
So, what a week! I fucking am so like. In ring this week was just like I said. I feel like out of we've been doing the show for over 5 years now. Like I feel like this is the best we've ever covered.
300+ episodes. Yeah,
I really do. Yeah. I think this is the best.
There was so much. This is about a 3-hour podcast because the week there's just the stuff wasn't skippable.
No,
we had
there was more I could have watched.
Right, exactly. But
I didn't.
Right, like. I
could have watched that tag title match from All Japan. I didn't watch it.
We want to get the best stuff in front of you if you haven't seen it, if possible, and know that not everybody has the time to sit and watch all these things. So if you need to know what to watch on the AEW pay-per-view, that's a harder question. But if you really have to narrow it down, we can give you 2. If you're looking for Joshi, there's this. We can get that in your hands if you need it.
Some
looking
extra
for some death match.
Death match
it's also all over the place. Variety this week too is really cool.
Yeah.
So this has been a hell of a week of professional wrestling.
Unbelievable. Did you buy anything?
Bags and boards.
Hey, let's go.
No, nothing. No.
No, me neither. I'm just gonna try to buy those Mudas tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah.
I think they go up at noon Eastern time.
Is that when they go up? Yeah.
So on Walmart.com.
Right.
Get my 2 and let's see how it goes.
Yep.
Other than that, man, I'm done. I'm done.
Let's get out of here.
I'm done.
Thanks for listening, everybody. This has been We Need Wrestling. You can find us online at WeNeedWrestling.com. We Need Wrestling on all kinds of social medias, YouTube, Blue Sky, Twitter, Facebook, all that. Instagram. We're a proud email show WeNeedWrestling@gmail.com too. If you want to know where to find these matches, need help finding them, need suggestions, have questions, all that kind of shit, hit us up there or in DMs. We're a proud member of the soon-to-be-named network at STBN Network on social media, soon-to-be-named network.tumblr.com. Your home for all the shows on the network, including our other show, Wings on Wings, and our other show, Kyushu Sentai Sleaze Ranger, which there's no wrestling talk. I don't know what the hell we're going to call it.
That's okay.
We'll leave that up to Ed.
That's Ed.
Final Wrestling Place, At Odds with Wrestling, Longbox Heroes After Dark, and everybody else in between. But yeah, that's it. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, dude.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah. Thanks for, I don't know. Thank you, wrestling, this week for being as fucking rad as you were. I haven't felt this fucking good about, like, not that I don't feel good about wrestling, but this was like, damn, I'm hyped to be a fan. This is fucking awesome.
You're listening to the soon-to-be-named network, the Lamborghini of podcast networks.
Knock it off, nerds!